What's up, everybody? This is Johnny Basement, and we're back here in the basement. The Rangers versus the Penguins. We are going straight in tonight to celebrating Jonathan Quick's 392nd win right now, and the most of goalies by an American-born goalie. This is an absolute amazing time. So it's just going to be incredible.
What's up, everybody?
So to shut off my voice on this other end, that was pretty crazy, and let's see what we got going on. But I'll tell you what, this is going to be a great night tonight. And the Rangers are holding on to a 1-point lead as the number one team overall. 1-point lead as the number one team overall in the entire league. Dallas Stars have a 1-point deficit to them. Does that make sense? It's a 1-point lead for the Rangers. It's all that matters right now. There's 8 games left in the season. The Penguins are not in it. Can you imagine that? They became a stepping stone. I don't think they've won a playoff series since. I don't think they've won a playoff series since they had since they beat the Nashville Predators in the Stanley Cup in 2017, 2018, around there. They haven't won a playoff series since then. So it's absolutely insane, but that's what we got going on right now. So anyway, this is important game. So every game left is important, but the Yankees. Corey, you screwed me up. Hold on. And I know you're talking about the Nets. Your name just popped up in here. Anyway, the Rangers only have 1 game remaining in the 8 games against a playoff team. And that is your Philadelphia Flyers, who just didn't leapfrog. They got leapfrogged by the Washington Capitals. So they dropped back down to the number 2 spot in the wild card behind the Lightning. The Lightning lead the wild card right now. So it's actually going to be a pretty incredible meeting, pretty incredible ending here to the season. So there's a battle. The Rangers, the Canucks, Dallas, they're all in this thing. Everybody's in this thing. It's absolutely insane. Corey, I'm going to get to you in 1 second, brother. And Corey is a cellar dweller, and he is live in the basement. What's going on, Corey? Appreciate you supporting, man. The Mets, what you got? Here comes Igor, 32-15, 2.63 goals against average with a .913 save percentage on the season. He is killing it. Right now, they had a little bit of a rough time in January, but that's about it. Other than that, the Rangers have been on point. Knicks, we'll get into the Knicks. What a heartbreaking loss for them last night. Man, what a heartbreaking loss. Corey, the Mets and Knicks both lost, need the Rangers to pick me up. Amen, brother. Amen. The Mets, man, listen, everybody knows I'm a Yankee fan, but I like the Mets. The only New York team I don't go for is who? Islanders. Never go for the Islanders. But I really do pull for the Mets. The Mets, I understand why Met fans don't like the Yankees. I get that. But Yankee fans not liking the Mets, I don't get that, because the Mets have nothing to do with the Yankees. Absolutely nothing to do with the Yankees, except for the 4 games they meet, 2 1 month, then 2 the next month, usually like July and August. I mean, who cares about that? Oh, come on! Already a goal? Game just started. Hold on a second. We're 18 seconds into the game and Pittsburgh scores already? Not for nothing, in the last game, I know Quick was the goalie, but in the last game, our defense was porous. We gave up 5 goals, man. 5 goals. Our defense was really bad. Really bad. So, look at that right off the bat. Nobody knows what's going on. 1-0 already, Pittsburgh. There's a lot of game left, so I ain't going to get upset about it. Let's just keep it moving in here. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys. That's just insane. Trouba and Keandre were both standing right there. I don't know what they were thinking about. Daniel, another cellar dweller and diehard Lightning fan in the basement. What's up, Daniel? I'm watching the Bolts and the Red Wings. Go Bolts. Go Bolts. And the Red Wings are fighting for that playoff. They're fighting for that wild card. They're only 2 points behind the Flyers, who have been kicked down to the second wild card position after Washington leapfrogged them. Washington is now 3rd place in the Metropolitan Division behind the Rangers and the Hurricanes. So there's a tight road there, real tight, between Washington, Philadelphia, and Detroit. The Islanders, forget them. They got 77 points. They forget them. They're 8 points behind the leader, the number one Lightning. But the Lightning are only 3 points ahead of the Flyers right now, who actually have been playing pretty decent hockey. They've been playing pretty decent hockey. So we can't completely count them out. The Islanders are technically still in it. They got 77 points. There's 8 games left, guys. 8 games. The Rangers have a 1-point lead. Now, Laviolette is the fastest head coach to 50 wins in Rangers history. 74 games he did it in. No other coach in their history has done it faster. I said at the beginning of the offseason, the Rangers need to hire Laviolette. They shouldn't have even let him hang around out there as long as they did. They should not have let him hang around out there as long as they did. It's amazing he was still available, and I think people got turned off. I think some teams got turned off from the fact that they didn't make the Rocco. They didn't make the playoffs with Washington last year. Rocco says hello. He obviously is awake and ready. You guys know him. Daniel, Johnny watching the Bolts and the Red Wings. Rick the Ninja, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Johnny, to bring up footy terms, the Rangers are looking for a minor premiership. Wow, Rick, getting into the footy a little bit. You are correct. That is a correct statement. Oh, man, there's no Aussies in here right now, but they'll be extremely impressed, and I'm going to bring that up to them, Rick. Your Islanders are still fighting for a playoff position. It's 77 points, I believe, last I checked. It's a tight race here, guys, tight race. Rangers giving up a goal in the first 18 seconds is atrocious. They got to get that right back. But again, this is the way we were playing defense the other night. No defense was our goal the other night. Arizona. I mean, I know we won the game. I'm not going to beat on it too much. I'm just talking about the defense end of it. We were up 3-1 on Arizona, who couldn't care less about besides picking up their checks. The league doesn't care about Arizona. They play at Arizona State University. They don't care about it. So they have a 3-1 lead. We blow that. So it's 3-3. Then we go up 6-3, then 6-4, 6-5. We win 7-5. 5 goals we gave up to Arizona. Granted, Jonathan Quick got his 392nd win, passing Ryan Miller for all-time goalie. United States-born goalies for wins, 392. 3 Ranger goalies are above 300 in that, by the way. Mike Richter with 301. Van Beesbrook, I think I had about 350-ish, and Jonathan Quick. Now Beeza and Richter were really more Ranger goalies for a long time. Jonathan Quick, come on, man. Guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. We love having him on the team. He's been outstanding as our backup goalie this season, and we already locked him in for next year. So that's the way you're supposed to do it. Daniel, Red Wings. Oh, I knew what you meant, Daniel. You're all good. You're all good, man. Rick the Ninja. Oh, the Islander fans show up, and I'm already jinxing your Rangers. Rick, out of respect that you're a Jets fan like myself, I try not to rip on you too much for your horrendous choice in the out. Look at Rocco. You made Rocco mad. Horrendous choice in the out. Right, Rocco. Tell him. Rocco wants you to know. It's a horrendous choice, Rick. You already have the Jets. What would you want to be an Islander fan for? Anyway, I'll leave you alone. Already jinxed. Right. As a matter of fact, Rick, you know what? You did show up right when they gave up a goal. You might need to leave for a little while. And we'll get into our Yankees in a minute. The Houston fans are being big babies, man, saying, oh, the Yankees are already doing their ticker tape parade. Yo, including the end of last season, we've beaten Houston like 7 straight games now. 7 straight. Raleigh, OG cellar dweller accounted for. Raleigh in the basement. What's going on, Raleigh? Raleigh, man, what a disappointing loss last night, man. 1.8 seconds on the clock, and the Thunder win. Unbelievable freaking game. And don't get me started on Brunson's wasted 61 points, and we lose the game to a bad team. I swear to the New York teams just love giving away games to bad teams. We make bad teams look like they're fighting for a championship. I'm not kidding. Like they say, oh, the Rangers, they only have 1 game left in their last 8, including tonight against the Penguins. Well, who would think the Penguins, finally, they're like just non-existent, man. They're out of it. Anyway, They're 14-1-1 against their remaining opponents, including tonight. We only have one playoff team we're facing. That's Philadelphia on April 11th. Philadelphia is currently a playoff team. Everybody else that we're playing is not currently. So that's not an easy walk win in my book. We don't do, I mean, even though we're 14-1-1 against remaining opposition, man, we have a lot to play for. I want this number one spot. The Knicks are 4th overall in the Eastern Conference, man. We got some teams that are playing. Thank goodness. Make us forget about the Jet season, man. Get ready for the new one. Now that you're not even allowed to tackle in the NFL anymore, but we'll get into that. Oh, that was almost offsides. Come on, Rangers, get that goal back. Captain! First Ozzy accounted for in the basement. I was wrong. I know, Captain. I took the – man – I got the right name, man. Johnny Basement. Where am I in the tipping? In the basement. I'm dead last, man. I only had 3 wins this week. 3. Carlton. The Cats. What the hell else did one? Carlton, the Cats. I was going to take Collingwood, but I couldn't bet against my team. I was going to take Collingwood. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It was Carlton. Somebody else won for me. But anyway, whatever the case, I'm in the basement, man. I'm in the dead basement. I did better last year when I didn't know what was going on. Anyway, it's still a long season. I'm not going to finish. I'm not finishing down there. I'm not down there by a lot. Now I'm like, who else won for me? Now I got to look. It's going to bother me. Oh my gosh, they almost scored again. I got to know what other team I won. Carlton? Isn't that funny? I can't even remember who the heck won. Carlton. Oh, the Bulldogs. That's right, the Bulldogs. I always tip against North Melbourne and West Coast. Always. Well, I wouldn't even know who to take if they played each other. I'd probably take West Coast. I'd probably take the Eagles in that one. Bruin, another OG cellar dweller accounted for. Bruin's in the basement. What's going on, Bruin? Raleigh makes me think the Knicks won't do much in the playoffs the way we fumble games. Listen, I'll say this much. It's hard to hate on Tibbs when you think about all the injuries that this team has had. I mean, for a lot of the season, Brunson was the only actual real starter playing, right? Brunson was the only real starter playing. Everybody else playing was a role player. Anunoby, what an amazing pickup, and then he gets hurt. It's like a curse, man. Randall's been out forever. Mitchell Robinson just came back, but the team played really well without these guys. And Josh Hart, until he's out of his prime, Josh Hart should be on the Knicks forever. That dude is 110% at all times. To put it in hockey terms, Josh Hart is like a Ryan Lindgren. He does all the intangibles. Such an important piece. Such an important piece. The stats aren't the flashy stats, but Josh Hart and Ryan Lindgren bring the same, man. They bring 110 every game. They are Johnny on the spot all the time. That kid, man, I don't know how he bounced around like he did on the Lakers and Pelicans and I think the Blazers too. And then here, whatever the case, I'm glad we got him locked up for. I think we got him for another 3 years. They need to just keep that guy. But we'll see what we got going into the playoffs, Raleigh. Man, if we had a full healthy team, I don't know who could beat us. I don't know who. I'm being dead serious, man. It is so exciting to have the Knicks and the Rangers be this great right now. So I give Tibbs a lot of credit. There's some issues I have with him, but hey, I mean, it is what it is. But you're right. I agree with you on that, Raleigh. Rick, I was born into the Islander fandom, so I just had to pick them. Well, Rick, I'll tell you how dumb I am. I was born in a New York Giants household. I think I've said this before to people. And I made this huge rebellion when I was like 10, maybe. Yeah, because Joe Klecko, Gastineau, the sack exchange, the Jets had a team, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to be a Jet fan. I mean, at least the Giants, I know they're not that great now, but at least the Giants have won rings. They've won 4 rings since I made my big decision for the rest of my life. And the Jets have won nothing. I've seen 4 AFC championship games, and they lost all 4. 1 game away from the Super Bowl, and they lost them all. So, in my 4 decades, and I stuck to that. My father was like, that's the only thing you ever stuck to as a kid. It's true, because there's only 3 people in our family, myself and 2 of Rock's cousins. We are the only Jet fans in the entire. Everybody else is a Giant fan. Everybody. Me and 2 of the cousins are only the Jet fans in the entire family. So, Rick, I grew up in a Giants household and wanted to be a rebellious kid and pick the Jets. What a moron I am. What a moron. My father used to tell me back when the newspapers were big, the Jets make the back pages, the Giants get the rings. That's it. The Giants keep their mouths shut and get the rings. The Jets are the younger brother that runs their mouth, but when push comes to shove, they get their ass kicked up and down the street. And it's true. When push comes to shove, the Jets get beaten down and they run their mouths like nobody else, man. I mean, it's hard to argue that, right, Rick? It's hard to argue that. Colonel, what's going on, man? Another Ozzy in the basement. What's going on, Colonel? Another dweller. Mr. Johnny, where are you reviewing the AFL? I'm doing them. Colonel, I've been busy. My health hasn't been great. I will be on the AFL. I told everybody, don't worry, guys. I will be doing the AFL. I will be doing the AFL. And doing those songs, I still have it written right here. I did a live stream, 2 days ago. That was the first thing I did anything on this channel in a month. So bear with me. I will be doing those AFL reviews. Bear with me, including my 0-3 Lions. So I'll do them, man, and I'll do those songs. That should be funny. $11:56 left in the first period. We're still down 1-0. Again, for those that missed it, the Penguins scored in the first 18 seconds. I guess because no one told our team that the game started. 18 seconds in the game, and the Penguins score. Daniel says, what's up to Bruin? Daniel, what's the score over there with Tampa? You know I'm going for Tampa. Colonel, no, don't take the Eagles. We suck. I know. The Eagles over the Kangaroos, though? Colonel, I think I would take the Eagles on that one. That's like a pick 'em. That's just a flip of the coin. That's a pick 'em. Captain, what do you think about the AFL fight songs? I'm going to do them. Colonel, Captain, the Colonel told me I should do a video. Actually, he's one of many people that have mentioned doing the AFL songs and narrowing down which one I think is the best. And I won't be biased on the Lions. I'll just, because I haven't heard them all, to be honest with you guys. I've heard some of them, but I will, it's a good idea, and I've heard plenty of people ask me to do that. So I think one of my reviews that I will do will be those the AFL club songs, and we'll break them down, and I will tell you which one is the best. Come on, Rangers, we're in the zone right now. Let's go. We are fighting for something. We are in the playoffs. We got 1 point lead as the number 1 overall team. Number 1 overall team by a point. For those that don't know a lot about hockey, and for Aussies that have helped me tremendously in footy, a win in hockey is worth 2 points. A win is worth 2 points. A loss, you only get a point for a loss if you take the game to overtime. If the game goes to overtime, both teams automatically get a point. The winner still only gets 2 points. So that's how that system works. If you see a player, an individual player that has, let's say 56 points, that's the total of his goals plus his assists will total an individual player's points. Save. Now, see, he just went right through everybody. Our defense is like slalom poles and skiing right now. They just zip, 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 zip. The Penguins are coming down the ice and literally doing this, or like our defense is slalom poles out there. Zombies, the walking dead. And this is how we looked against garbage Arizona. Now, Pittsburgh's not making the playoffs either, but Pittsburgh is way better than Arizona. Pittsburgh is a team that held on to players a little too long, like Crosby and Malkin, and these guys, they're older. They won championships. They won 3 rings. Crosby, Malkin, and Letang. They all won 3 rings together. They got rid of Gunsel, which was, and now they have Erik Karlsson, who's also going to go to the Hall of Fame. But these players are a little bit older, but you can't sleep on them, even though they're not in the playoffs. You can't sleep on them. You know, and that's what that's what I hope our Lightning, Daniel. That's what I hope our Lightning does not do. Hold on to players a little too long. Stamkos, Hedman, they're all great. I love them, but give them that extra contract when they shouldn't get it. So what I'm going to need the Lightning to do? Oh, sit right in front of the net again. Where is the defense? What do we do? Did they make the playoffs and just say, oh, we can kick back? Come on. We're trying to be. Look, another shot in front of the net. Igor is doing everything he can. Come on. You would think the Penguins were on a power play. Goal! There it is. Inevitably, goal scored on us because our defense is doing nothing. Nothing. Crosby, one of the greatest players of all time, scored. He's 36 years old now. Where is our defense? Did anybody not tell us that the game has started? What is going on? By the way, the Rangers this whole season never play well in the first period. They don't. Then they like to come back. It's like they like to give teams 2 and 3 goal leads, man, and then come back. But it's literally like Pittsburgh's on a power play. And for those that don't know, a power play is when a team gets a penalty, guy usually goes off for 2 minutes. So the other team has a 1-man advantage. So that would be a power play. They got 5 on the ice. We got 4. That kind of thing. But we both have 5-on-5, and you would think that we were shorthanded. Oh, we got a review. We might have an offsides on Pittsburgh. We got a review. Maybe this won't count. I mean, of all people, how are you going to let Sidney Crosby be the one to be by himself? I know he's older, but gosh, man, the guy is one of the greatest shooters and players of all time. To put it in perspective for you AFL guys, Sidney Crosby would be like a Buddy Franklin, man. Even toward the end of his career, you still can't sleep on the guy. That's what a Sidney Crosby would be, equivalent to like a Buddy Franklin. It's offsides, I think. Yeah, I think it's close. Hold on, I'm checking. I'm looking. They're doing the review right now. It's really close. It's really close. I mean, we're talking like this. You can't, the man with the puck, his teammates can't go across that last blue line going into our zone, going into the goalie zone. You can't cross that blue line before the man with the puck does. And I'm telling you, one of the guys on the Penguins was like this much over the line when he passed him the puck. We might get away with one here, but it is very. Oh, man, it's close. I could see him not overturning it, but if they don't overturn it and take the goal away, I'll call BS, being biased. Anyway, while they're doing this, Bolts on the power play. Great. Let me know. Give me a score, Daniel. I'm probably a little bit behind here. Rick, isn't Brisbane's song the same tune as the French anthem? It might be. I don't even know what the French anthem sounds like. Why? Because we're in the basement. I don't know everything. Oh, there you go. Captain answered it for you. It is. There you go. Daniel, the lower bowl at Amalie, all red shirts, transplants from Michigan. Yeah, Daniel. Hold on. We're getting a review. Hold on. Where did I leave off? Daniel, I'll come back to you. Oh, come on, man. Come on. Come on. Now we get a delay of game penalty. We got robbed. I'll tell you, if that was the Rangers they were calling it against, they would have been, they would have took the goal away. And now, when you challenge and you lose the challenge, you get a delay of game penalty. So now, not only does the goal count, putting Penguins up 2-0, they also get a 2-minute power play. So they got 5 against our 4, not including goalies. So now we lost the challenge, and now Pittsburgh has a power play, which will look like the game's been looking anyway. It'll be in our zone for the next 2 minutes. It's been in our zone for the last 12. Yeah, AFL win is 4 points. Oh, great. Oh my gosh, man, what's going on? Come on, Trouba. Wait a minute. I don't know if it's on us or them. Hold on. Boy, there's a lot of stuff going on here except Rangers scoring goals. Hold on. Interference on Pittsburgh. 4-on-4 hockey now. The power play is gone. By Erik Karlsson, who is a future Hall of Fame defenseman. And those that want to know, that was Sidney Crosby's 36th goal of the year, and the man is 36. I tell you, man. These aging guys, some of them just don't age. Crosby, LeBron, Tom Brady, these guys play at elite levels at older ages. It's insane. So now it's 4-on-4 for the next minute 19. This will be really fast hockey now. Captain, all right, got to go. See you later, brother. Colonel, wait. Daniel, I said I was coming back to you. Hold on, Colonel. The lower ball. Yeah, Daniel, that's what I was going to talk about. I've been to a ton of Lightning games at the Amalie. And the Lightning, I already told you, Jeff Vinik, to me, is like one of the greatest owners in sports, not just hockey, in sports. He really cares about the city. He really cares about making it fan-friendly, which it is. I love going to Amalie Arena. But the Penguins, the Flyers, the Red Wings, any Canada team, well, the main ones anyway, Toronto, Montreal, Edmonton, the Rangers, Islanders, Bruins, you would think the Lightning were the away team because everybody moves to Florida. You would think the Lightning were the away team. So, yeah, I believe it, Daniel. I believe it. But all those teams that I mentioned, there'll be tons of fans there. Tons for the other team. And the Lightning get a good draw. They have a good fan base. They have a better fan base than the Buccaneers in football and the Rays. The Lightning have a better fan base than both of them. And probably the Bucks, probably because it's so freaking hot outside. No one wants to go to a Buck game at 4 p.m. on a Sunday when in September, man. It's like 98 plus humidity. Probably feels like 110 sitting in those stands. So we got a power play for 23 seconds now. Can we get a goal? Can we just get a goal? That's an idea. Come on. But again, this is normal what the Rangers look like in first periods of games. And then the second and third period, it's like they wake up. The Boston Bruins, who are one of the elite teams, top 3 teams in hockey, they leapfrog with the Rangers and the Stars and the Panthers. The Bruins had a 2-0 lead on us, and we came back and won that game. But we didn't decide to start playing till under 2 minutes left in the second period, or under 5 minutes left in the second period. The first period, we were just like out there like figure skaters. And then halfway into the second period, or more than halfway, it was just 2-0 forever. And then the Rangers were like, oh, maybe we'll start playing now. I don't get it. I don't know what happens in the first period, but man, they just don't get it going. They don't get it going. Daniel, they didn't score. So it's still 0-0, Daniel. Colonel, pretty sure Adelaide Crows was used by WW2 guy in Germany when they marched. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look at, like I said, I've never heard the Crows either. I've heard a few of them, but not the Crows. Rick, they wouldn't take away a goal. Yeah, they wouldn't take away a goal from Crosby. That's what it was. It was close. It was close. I told you guys, the minute they don't go the Rangers' way, I'm gonna get all bent out of shape about it. But it was close. But right, because it was Crosby. Good point, Bruin. OG Cellar Dweller Trouba Train in the basement. What's up, Trouba? What's happening, man? We're doing our usual first period figure skating out here. I tell you, I don't understand why we have such slow starts in games. A lot of games we just start slowly. And then we come back and win these things. So that's why I said I'm not getting too hyper about being down 2-0. But I would like a goal here before the end of the first. And we'll talk a lot. When the period's over, we'll get into the Yankees and freaking, it's been amazing. Whoa, man, Juan Soto, they need to lock him up. They need to lock up Juan Soto. They need to lock up Juan Soto. Did I say it? They need to lock up Juan Soto. And how about Oswaldo Cabrera? Boy, that's the kid we were looking for last season. LeMahieu's going to be out for who knows how long because his foot has been messed up since the summer of 2022. So we were expecting Cabrera to really step up last year. I don't know what happened to him. I'm glad the Yankees didn't get rid of him because the kid can play damn near every position, and he has been playing. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see. One second, guys. So, yeah, man, the Oswaldo Cabrera is doing it. It's crazy. How many games? Wait, sorry, let me back up. Where was I at? Oh, Rick, not Bruin. Rick said they wouldn't take a goal away from Crosby. Nope, they won't. You're right. That's probably half the reason right there. I mean, he's earned it, right? Crosby's earned it. We don't have to love him, but he's earned it. How many games are in an AFL season? There's like 24 rounds, so I guess 24 games. But not for everybody. Everybody gets a bye week. Everybody gets a bye week. I don't know if they get 2 bye weeks. So, guys, do they get 2 bye weeks or just 1? Because I know the Lions already had 1. But I know there's 24 rounds. And then when you hear us saying the finals, in footy, the finals is the playoffs. The grand final is the Super Bowl, NBA championship, Stanley Cup, the grand final. But the finals, I had to learn that. I'm like, how are all these teams in the finals? That's what, when I was learning, everybody's talking about the finals. Oh, this team's in the finals. I'm like, but I thought that team was in the finals. But just like us, the first 8 teams get in. 5:15 left in the first. 2-0 Penguins. Bagger Dave, another cellar dweller in Ozzy accounted for. Bagger, what's going on? Evening dwellers, I'm in and out because of work. Just thought JB should consider if his Lions will register a W anytime. Oh, man, come on. Hey. When it mattered, who went home in the finals, Dave? Who went home in the finals when we met? That's all I got right now because we're 0-3. But when it mattered, I think Carlton went home, right? After that huge first quarter, I think Carlton went home, right? Didn't Brisbane move on? That's all I got. That's all I got, Dave. That's all I got. When it really mattered, we We were there when it really mattered. That's all I got. They're going to be back. They're going to be fine. We're going to become roaring back. Don't worry. I got the Lions app. I'm following it. And yes, guys, I'm going to be doing AFL reviews. Don't worry. I know I just had a lot going on. I promise you guys, they're coming. Don't worry. And I will be ripping on my Lions. I promise you. I follow everything that they do. I read their articles. I have their app, the team page. Come on. I got their lapels. Come on. I mean, I'm a huge member, a team member. I get lapels that just hold up stuff here. That's it. Come on, get it out of there, man. They've been living in our zone this whole time. Where are we at? $22-ish plus finals. Yeah, so there is 2 bye weeks. There you go. Daniel, Red Wings power play. Oh, man. Patrick Kane's been playing pretty well for them. I didn't, believe it or not, I didn't think it was a big deal that the Rangers didn't get back Patrick Kane. And I'm glad the Rangers got Wenberg instead of Tarasenko, and I like Tarasenko. But Wenberg has been real good for this team, man. We got the right players that know their roles, and that's what's important, knowing their roles. Now, I won't lie, when we got Kane last year, I was very excited about it. I'm not sure if we knew about his injuries or how serious it was at the time. But you got to get excited about the greatest American-born player, Patrick Kane. I know people like to argue Modano, and it is arguable. Modano was awesome. I would take Patrick Kane if they'd been their primes. Choo-choo, all aboard the Trouba train. Yes, sir, Rick the Ninja. And Trouba needs to lay somebody out there, man. This defense has been dead. And this continuing from the Arizona game against the Coyotes. This is the same defense from that game. It's just we were lucky that team is trash. Now, the Penguins, again, aren't going anywhere. They're not making a wild card. They're not making the playoffs. But they still got a lot of great players on the team. It's not like the Coyotes. They just have guys that just collect paychecks and play at a college. Like, no one cares about Arizona. This is a different story. We're trying to win number 1 spot. We're number 1 by a point. Daniel, Red Wings power play, read that. Rick, Verdugo, man. I know he's just got Verdugo, Aaron Judge. We got a couple of guys that need to, they will. They'll get the bats going. We know how season starts. Some guys start out real hot and cool off, and other guys start out cold and get hot. Verdugo on the outfield can flash that leather. What a game-ending catch. Boy, the Yankees tried to blow that game, and I really think that they pushed Clay Holmes just a little bit. You think over those 4 games, he did not look sharp in the 9th inning yesterday. Did not look sharp. And that one hit down the line, man, we're lucky that was foul. Because Houston could have won either one of those games. Not either one of those games, that game. Their bullpen, you see Houston. Hold on. Go, go, go. Come on, Panarin. We had a breakaway there, but he had defense, so he isolated him to one side of the ice. And, of course, nobody else knew what was going on, so Panarin was the only one down there. Just squeeze a goal here in the last minute of the period. Come on. 55 seconds left in the first period. Colonel ordering a meat lovers pizza. Oh, please. It sounds great. But yeah, I'm liking Verdugo, man. All the Boston fans were like, "Oh yeah, enjoy Verdugo. He's not much." I'm like, you know what? Verdugo, you know what's really funny about that? We have Verdugo and Jeter Downs. I don't know why, honestly, why the Yankees signed Jeter Downs. Maybe just to piss the Red Sox off. But that's 2 of the 3 guys that they got back. And there's a catcher on their team right now. I don't even remember his name, but he's still on the Red Sox. Jeter Downs, Verdugo, and this other guy were what they got back for Mookie Betts. So, yeah, it is kind of cool having Verdugo on our team. And he's young, and he can play the field really well. So, But don't miss that game when he goes back to Boston because he talked smack on his way out the door. He's going to get booed like nobody's business. Johnny Damon got booed, and he didn't even badmouth Boston. When he came back in a Yankee uniform, he just got booed because he was a Yankee. Verdugo talks smack about Cora, and he talks smack about somebody else there, too, and I forget who. But anyway, I don't think they even go to Boston until like July, which is weird. Bond, another cellar dweller in Ozzy accounted for. Bond in the basement. In the basement. What's going on, Bond? Good to see you in here, brother. Daniel, end of first. Both. Oh, nothing. Okay, good. Good. Daniel, end of first. Read that. Bond, let's go Rangers. Hey, Bond, we are 1 point up. Number one overall in the league. Won by 1 point. By 1 point. Matter of fact, it's end of the first period. We're losing 2-0. But again, I tell everybody that's normal for the Rangers to not do anything in the first period. They don't like showing up in the first period. They practice skating because their defense has been trash. Who are the Dallas Stars playing? It is a tight race here. They're not playing today. All right. So overall in the league, the Rangers have 104 points and are number one in the entire league. That consists of 32 teams. The Rangers are number one with 104. Dallas Stars right behind them with 103. Carolina, 101. Carolina's in second place in our own division. Boston's tied with Carolina third with 101. Then you got Vancouver and Colorado, both having 100 points. So everybody's within a win or two of leapfrogging each other. There's 8 games left in the season. The Rangers only have 1 game left. 1 game left against against a playoff team, which currently is the Philadelphia Flyers. That's on April 11th. The other 7 teams, including today, are teams that are probably not going to be making the playoffs. They only take the first 2 wild card teams from each conference, the Western Conference and the Eastern Conference. They only take 2 wild card teams per conference. And right now in the Eastern Conference, you got the Tampa Bay Lightning, my second favorite team. They are 89 points, and they are right now the number 1 wild card team. Philadelphia Flyers are right behind them with 82 points. So if the season ended right now, those would be your 2 wild card teams in the East. The Red Wings are 1 this is a huge game for the Red Wings right now, put it that way, because this win here would put them in a tie with the Flyers. So, and we don't want them to win. The Lightning have a comfortable lead right now at 89 points. They are 7 points ahead of the second wild card team. That's a lot. That's a lot with only 8 games to go. It's a lot. Remember, every win is 2 points. It's a lot. So, in the Western Conference, two wild card teams are the Nashville Predators at 90 points, the Kings at 87. If it ended right now, those would be your 2 wild card teams. The Predators have a 3-point lead over the Kings and an 8-point lead over the Blues. Now, the Blues are third. They're fighting to get in, but they are 5 points behind the Kings for the final wild card spot. That's a lot. 5 points is a lot with only 8 games left. So in the West, you're probably looking at Nashville and Los Angeles being your wild card teams there. So, I just lost you guys. Where'd you go? There you are. Okay. Yeah, I know, man. Bon, I know. Tigers beat the Swans. You know what, man? That at least could have gave me 4 wins on it. That was like my that was like my easy pick. I'm like, oh, the Swans taking that. That was my I didn't even think twice about it pick. I'm telling you, man, I am in the basement. Boy, I only had 3 wins this week. Last week I did a whole lot better. I only had 3 wins. The Bulldogs, the Blues, and how did I forget this again? You know why I forget? Because it's forgettable. It's a forgettable week for tipping for me. The Bulldogs, the Blues. Somebody else. Who beat the Eagles? Whoever beat the Eagles. That's who I had. Daniel. G'day, mate. Oh, yeah, Daniel. Daniel's our huge, great cellar dweller, great hockey knowledge. Big time Lightning fan. Everybody hit the like button for me, please. Bag of Dave, it's the Essendon Edge. Yep, it's funny, guys. So, yeah, the Yankees. Getting back to the Yankees. 4-game series against the Houston Astros in Houston. We won all 4 games, and the Houston fans are pissed. They're pissed because they've owned the Yankees in the playoffs the last few years since 2017. They've always beaten us. But this time around, it's a lot different. We beat them in the first 4 games. Yes, it's a long, long season. And Houston fans, you guys are making a big deal out of nothing. Guys, you were in your home field for 4 straight games, and you lost all 4. They blew 3 of those 4 games. Blew 3 of the 4. Their starting pitching had like a 1-point-something ERA. Their bullpen, their relief pitchers got shellacked. I think their relief pitchers had like an 8 or 9 ERA combined. So that means that when the Yankees batters came up, when the relief pitchers came in, it was a merry-go-round on the bases. Boom, 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 boom. Next man up. Boom, boom, boom. That's what it was on the bases when the bullpen came in. It's like they were pitching underhand. It's like they're just pitching underhand. Here you go. Oh, we killed them. And yeah, and they're saying, oh, you guys are already doing your world champion ticker tape parade. Well, watch out. We got a great batting order. I'm still a little nervous about our pitching, to be honest. But, I mean, and I don't blame Nestor Cortez. Pitchers are funny. They're a funny breed. He was taken out of his spring training rotation. Gerrit Cole got hurt. Marcus Stroman. Some Yankee fans are like, oh, he didn't want to do opening day. I get it. These guys are in a spring training rotation. It would have made them go out there on short rest. Now, for the ones that say, oh, they do that in the playoffs, man, this is coming out of spring training, not a whole season. And the playoffs is you got to throw the kitchen sink out there. This is opening day. Nobody really wanted to do it, so Cortez did it. He didn't start out well. Hey, you know what? We came back and won it for him. But we need him to pitch well. Rodon, he pitched well. He pitched himself out of jams when we beat him, I think, 7-1 that game. Carlos Rodon pitched. That was the best game I ever saw him pitch since he's been a Yankee. He put himself in some jams, but he got out of them. Got out of them, man. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. Remember last year? He didn't even last. You could turn the game on, go get something to eat, come back, and it's already like 6-0, and 5 minutes have passed. I'm not kidding. I'm exaggerating just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. So it's a good start to the season. Our Mets, on the other hand, rough start to the season. They haven't won a game yet. And they're not looking good either. Be back soon. All right, Dave. We're in between periods right now. Bruin, time for the Yankees to own and they have, Bruin, the last 7 games, the last 3 games past season to now, we beat them. We're 7-0. We beat them 7 straight. 7 straight. The Islanders are beating the Flyers 2-1 at the end of the first period. End of the first period, it's 2-1 Islanders. Well, sorry, Rick, I don't want them to win. I don't want them in the playoffs. But Rick, remember this one? This jersey right here? Remember this? Remember that game? That was Stadium Series. What a game that was, man. Wow. But anyway, like I said, I don't rip on him too much. I don't rip on Rick too much. He's a Jet fan with me. And that's the other thing. What's with all this hate on the New York Jets? Like, these guys, if these same moves were made by almost any other team, they'd be brilliant moves. Now, I get it. The history of the Jets is atrocious. Bad decisions, bad draft picks outside of the Sauce Gardner, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. That was an amazing draft. That, like, never happens to the Jets. And Jermaine Johnson. Like, wow, like you hit on 4 guys in that same draft. That never happens. Never. So, I mean, we've only drafted 2 winning quarterbacks in our entire history. And no, Joe Namath was not one of those 2 winning quarterbacks in our entire history since 1960 when they started out as the New York Titans. So, yeah, as from the Jets, we only had 2. Chad Pennington and Mark Sanchez are our only winning quarterbacks. You want to get technical, you could throw in Pat Ryan, who technically was a longtime backup to Ken O'Brien. He was 11-8. But he did start in 1984, I believe, going off the top of my head. And I believe that year he was or whatever. He finished 11-8. But he started 14 games that year, and I think it was 1984. But anyway, if you want to count him, he was 11-8. He was drafted by the Jets. So, but he was mainly a backup. But just to throw another number for us, you could say 3. So a lot of the media is just like, oh, Haason Reddick. Well, he's getting a little older now. He's getting a little on the top of the peak. That's why the Eagles let him go. I don't know if this is really that great of a pickup. The guy's 29. TJ Watt is 29. Oh man, you don't hear anything. All you hear is nothing great about what a great career he still has in front of him, TJ Watt. Haason Reddick is right up there with him, if not better. But all of a sudden, because the Jets took him, he's on the decline. We'll see what happens. The best thing the Jets can do with Haason Reddick, honestly, in my opinion, is don't extend him right now. Extend him toward the end of the season. Because what do all players do, regardless of sport, in their contract year? What do? Ball out. I'm not saying the guy would mail it in, but if he going into the season having a contract, I think it's a different mentality than going in wanting that last big contract. He's 29. He wants a last big contract. And that is why you don't extend him right now. Extend him later at the end of the season. Just saying. But for the issues that the Jets went through last season, horrendous O-line, 4 different quarterbacks. Garrett Wilson still had over 1,000 yards. Breece Hall had 994 yards, 76 catches with no O-line, no quarterbacks. I mean, like 4 different quarterbacks. And those guys didn't have any time to throw the ball. The Jets quarterbacks were sacked 64 times. That's third most in the league. Garrett Wilson still had 1,000 yards receiving and getting double covered. Lazard, they didn't have any other receivers. The only guy you had to worry about was Garrett Wilson. Now you got Mike Williams on the other side. Tyron Smith on the line, Morgan Moses, John Simpson, 2 guys that came over from the Ravens, 2 great linemen. The defense is already there. The Jets, with all this mess last year, won 7 games anyway. Vegas has them at 9 or 9.5. And a lot of the sports media on the big channels are like, I think 9 is too much. Really? A healthy Jets team is only 2 wins better than the disaster we just went through, including the play calling. Because we know Aaron Rodgers isn't going to be – Aaron Rodgers calls his own plays, basically. They're only going to be 2 games better? And the big heads on the big channels don't think – not all of them, but some of them. They're like mocking every move the Jets make. I swear to you, the Jets could get Lawrence Taylor, Walter Payton, and Dan Marino, Joe Montana in their primes, and these guys would still say, oh, these are crappy moves. I'm telling you. That's why Breece Hall said everybody can mock us, make fun of us. We're being quiet, and I'm glad. The Jets are not on Hard Knocks. None of the players are hyped up and talking, but just think about this. Last season, and I listened to Adam Shine on Sirius XM, Chris Russo, Mad Dog Radio. He said this, and it's true, and I agree with it. Last year, the Jets were the hype team, Super Bowl contenders, got Aaron Rodgers. He said all that still applies, and he's right. It still applies, and they got more players now than they had last year. It still applies. These guys say that, not Adam. These other guys say that the Jets can't compete with Cincinnati, Buffalo, Houston. These are better teams. The Jets beat Houston 30-7 last year with all these problems. They split with Buffalo. We didn't play Cincinnati, but we can't compete with them? That's a joke. A healthy team. Am I being biased? No, I'm a 4 decades Jet fan that's seen all the disasters and failures, and I'm always cautiously optimistic when it comes to this team. But a healthy team, you're telling me they're not going to make the playoffs? It's a joke. These guys have narratives that they will just stick to no matter what. Some of them want you to think that LeBron sucks. The Jets, well, they're not going to do it. I thought the teams you're supposed to hate are the ones that win all the time. Those are the teams that you're supposed to hate. Had the Dallas Cowboys made all these kinds of moves, oh my gosh, watch out for the boys. Here them boy, we them boys. Patrick Mahomes was like 4 months old the last time they won a Super Bowl, and we're like even in an NFC championship game. Think about that. Mahomes had time to grow up, learn how to play football, go to watch his father, who was a pitcher for the Mets and a few other teams, go to college, win 3 Super Bowls before Dallas has even made it back to the NFC Championship game. But if Dallas had picked up all these players, watch out. Oh, if Mike Williams went over there, they wouldn't be talking about all this crap, man. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. Let Dallas have picked up Hassan Reddick. You think they'd be talking about how, oh, man, no, they'd be talking about him teaming up with Micah Parsons. The Jets' defense is no joke, and they're a big reason why they won 7 games. And that's it. That's all I got on my pedestal for the Jets. Where I leave off? Leafs 2, Panthers nothing. The Leafs are fighting too. Where are the Leafs? Daniel, where are the Leafs? That's true. Hold on a second. They got to be hanging around. The Leafs are already in it. They're not fighting for a wild card. Yeah, the Leafs are 93 points right now. I left them out before. Austin Matthews might get 70 goals this year. 70. Wow, we haven't seen that since I don't know, Mario Lemieux. Anyway, Daniel, okay, 2-0. So the Panthers have been slipping a little bit, but maybe it's not a bad thing to go in a little bit of a slump before the playoffs start, right? You almost like when he's hot for a long time, you almost want to get that little wake-up game here or there. I don't know. Maybe it's a mental thing or we're just nervous fans. Bond, nobody took the Tigers. Don't feel bad. All the leaders only got 4 correct this round. Really? I didn't look at everybody else. I just looked at myself this time, and all I just saw was a bunch of red. I felt like I was back in high school. Wrong. Oh, my gosh. Angus, another cellar dweller accounted for. Angus in the basement. What's going on, man? Doing great. How about you, brother? Bruin, I guess the sports media doesn't want to see the Jets succeed for some reason. Yeah, it's weird. Every other band, look at how the country came together. Everybody wanted Detroit to win, including me. We wanted the Lions to win. When the Browns are getting better, everybody wanted the Browns to win. Hey, these are downtrodden teams. But the Jets, it's like everybody hates them. They do nothing but embarrass themselves, embarrass their fans. We walk around and people feel sorry for us. I had a guy tell me, literally, when I was truck driving, that nobody worries about the Jets. They're like Sweden, man. No one cares or worries about them. I had another truck driver tell me that. I was in California, and you're like, you're a Jet fan? You're from New York? I said, yeah. He said, I thought you guys were Giant fans. I didn't even know Jets had fans. I was like, really? He goes, yeah. He was a local driver out there. He said he'd never seen anybody wearing any Jet gear ever. I'm not kidding. Not kidding. He said, I thought you guys would just be Giants fans. Why would you go for the Jets? I don't know. It's hard to answer that question. But we're loyal. We don't jump teams. That's it. You have who you have. Raleigh, I have very little faith in Rodgers. He was bad last year. He was healthy, and that same team went to the playoffs without Rodgers. So until the Jets are the AFC East champs, I'm not bought in. Got to be bought in. Raleigh, he's still Aaron Rodgers. Now he's pissed. He only played 4 plays last year. And he had a whole thing with Green Bay at the end there. They had a whole thing. And you know what's funny? Speaking of that, though, Raleigh, since you brought up the Packers, look how much the media has flipped on Jordan Love. They trashed the Packers when they first drafted Jordan Love. Trash them. Talked about how they're going to do that to Aaron Rodgers. This kid's no good. He's not going to do anything. They were 2-5, I believe, at one point this season. And then they're all ripping on Jordan Love. He's not a real quarterback. Now they're all kissing his ass. No, Rodgers is going to be fine. Watch out. He only played 4 plays. Now he's got weapons. He's got protection. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. I'm not saying we're winning the Super Bowl, but watch out. The Jets, if they stay healthy, watch out. I won't be surprised if everybody gets hurt. Look at our Knicks, Raleigh. We're like the only team at one point to have all 5 of our starters out. These are New York teams. This is what happens to us. Only a New York team can have a guy score 61 points like Brunson and still lose to a last place team. That's what we do. It's what we do. Look at the Buffalo, the years you guys had to win, and injuries happen. Micah Hyde, all the important injuries happen. It's New York. That's how you know you're a New York team. It's crazy. And that's the other thing with the Jets. We're getting underway here in the second period, but I'm just going to end this point on this. Everybody's like, oh, no, it's the Jersey Jets. How can they call themselves the New York Jets? They're the Jersey Jets. And like this a whole theme against the media. And everybody's like, Jersey Giants, Jersey Jets, this is ridiculous. How could they misrepresent? There's like 10 NFL teams that misrepresent the cities that they play in. But only the Jets and Giants get yelled out for this. Washington Commanders, believe it or not, they play in Maryland. The Jets and Giants are 7 miles tops outside of New York City. Santa Clara, where the San Francisco 49ers play, which is basically San Jose, is 75 miles south of San Francisco. Nobody calls them that. Why? It's called marketing. Dallas Cowboys play in Arlington. Why aren't they the Arlington Cowboys? Marketing. Dallas sounds better. It's crazy. It's crazy, but only they make you think only the Jets and Giants play out of an area that they're not really a part of. They could call them the tri-state area Jets and Giants, and then we could do like New England does and just call themselves, representing a whole region, basically. But you would think they were the only two teams that represent where they play. Santa Clara 49ers is 75 miles south of San Francisco. They play basically in San Jose. It's weird. It's weird, but that's what happens with these teams. And it's just a New York thing. It really is. Score Patrick Kane 1-0. I was just talking about how Patrick Kane is playing really well, and I'm happy for him. He's the greatest American-born player. And as we said, Jonathan Quick, greatest American-born goalie, 300 now. Well, he has the most wins. People can argue about others. I mean, the guy has 3 Stanley Cups, and 2 of them he started in. And one of them, they were an 8 seed that barely made the playoffs and knocked all the Western Conference teams out of it. And that was back in 2012. So the dude's really good. And he beat our guy, Henrik Lundqvist, who technically is a better goalie than him. But Henrik Lundqvist doesn't have a ring. So he's kind of like the Dan Marino of hockey. Has a whole lot of records. Nobody wants to face these guys, but they don't have rings. So we can't count them in the greatest quarterback or goalie conversation because they don't have rings. It's really weird. But I don't blame you, Raleigh. Trust me, I'm cautiously optimistic with my team. Rangers on a power play right now. We're down 2-0. We really need to get it going here. But again, oh, he hit the post. Vinny hit the post. Come on. We're right there. Come on, man. Right there. Vinny took a great shot and it hit the post. Let's go. Just start shooting it on net. Why do you got... There it is. They listen to me. Shoot it on net. Mika. Now we're down 2-1. Oh, no, hold on. The ref has a problem. Goalie interference. Oh, come on. Let's see this goalie. Let's see this travesty that just happened. Goalie interference. Hold on. Hold on. Daniel, I'll come back to your question in a second. Come on. Remember earlier when I said ticky-tacky calls? Ticky-tacky? They could have called offsides on Crosby. They didn't because it was very close and they didn't. Chris Kreider's skate, and he was bumped by the defenseman on the Penguins. So inadvertently, his skate, while the goalie was going across to save the puck or try to save the puck, his skate held the goalies up by a little bit, but he was checked into him. And I don't think the goalie was going to make it there in time anyway, but technically his skate did get inside the goalie's padding. but he was checked. Let me get back to your question, Daniel. Why did they put USB Arena across from New York City instead of further out on the island? The island, there's been fights over this for a long time. They wanted to put the Jets have their own stadium in Manhattan way back when the Jets played with the Mets at Shea Stadium in Queens. And then Leon Hess, the owner at the time, had some problem with the Mets owners, or I don't know what went on there. And they just left and went to, at the time, it was the Meadowlands in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Now it's MetLife Stadium. It was called Giant Stadium. We still call it Giant Stadium. Us old heads still call it Giant Stadium. It's MetLife, but we still do. The Jets really don't have a home. They share it with the Giants, but it's always been the Giants out there. So it's all politics, basically. In a nutshell, Daniel, it's all politics. They want it on eastern end of Long Island, which would have been pretty good. There's three main highways on Long Island, but Southern State Parkway only goes as far as Oakdale, I believe. But the Long Island Expressway and Sunrise Highway, they go all the way out to the end of the island. So a Northern State Parkway, you got that as well, but that doesn't go all the way out. But at the end of the island, I don't know. It's politics, man. It's just, money and spacing and who wants what. Don't forget out Eastern Long Island has the Hamptons and all these other areas and people in traffic. I don't know. But that's probably why. So they just went to Jersey, and they're literally less than 10 miles. Let's just put it that way. They're less than 10 miles from Manhattan. And the media, the sports media and these fans, they're the Jersey Jets and the Jersey Giants. Well, let's go over the 10 other teams then that don't represent their cities. Nope, we're just going to do that. Dallas Cowboys or Arlington Cowboys. Washington Commanders play in Maryland. They play in Maryland. Right, Rocco, it's ridiculous. Anyway, 14:42 left in the second period. We're still down 2-0. We'll still come back. I mean, this is what we do. But just the fact that we got a goal and it got taken away, the fact is we were there. Now we're starting to move the puck. But these are all important games. Penguins are mathematically still in it, but they're not going to make it. Like, seas would have to be parted and stars would have to fall from the sky and things like that. And moons would have to be moved for the Penguins to make the playoffs. But they're mathematically still in it. Shoot that. Bond. Tigers full forward. Lynch has played 2 games after coming back from a foot injury and got injured in the Tigers Swans game. Will be out for the rest of man. Sounds like he plays for the New York Knicks. That's what happens to our guys. OG Anunoby, we trade for him. He comes in, playing great. We won like 12 out of 14 games. Hurts his elbow, get minor surgery. It's out for a few weeks, comes back, plays 3 games. Now he's out for the season. Sounds very familiar, Bond. Maybe he can play basketball. He can come over and play for the Knicks and be injured. Still 2-0. We got 13:20 left in the second period. Angus, I don't trust most major sports media. My main source is podcasts and The Athletic. Yeah, you know what? These channels like YouTube, like me on here and other guys, we like just bringing fan talk. We talk like fans. I mean, we don't know everything. I don't have a teleprompter in front of me. I can turn around and look up some things. I tell you guys when I do that. And I know, Rocco, it's ridiculous. And Rocco wanted to say what's up to everybody. He's a 13-year-old mascot. Rocco. He's got really bad arthritis, but he's very healthy otherwise. So he gets a little cranky, and the OGs and everybody knows Rocco. If you're new with Rocco, that's him. And you'll hear him in the background sometimes. He's on his medication, but his joints do hurt. So he's kind of like an old grump at times, and I don't blame him. But he's our guy. He's our mascot. So, yeah, Angus, I'm the same way because they have narratives, and they want you to love a player or hate a player. And then if they get you to love a player, like the Bills fans in here, Raleigh can answer this, and Bruin, I know Bruin is a Giants fan, but, NFL fans can answer this. Remember when Josh Allen first came out? Oh, the media loved him. Oh, Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. Guess what? Josh Allen is still great. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks in the game. There's only a couple of guys maybe I would take over him. But, well, he can't beat Patrick Mahomes. Well, guess what, guys? The only guy that really beat Patrick Mahomes was Tom Brady. So who is he losing to? A guy that's won 3 Super Bowls. And the last playoff game, Josh Allen again got told, oh, well, he can't beat Patrick Mahomes. He did nothing wrong in that game. He didn't turn the ball over not one time. He had receivers dropping passes. It's just to blame it on him is ludicrous. But because he hasn't been the Super Bowls and he hasn't gotten the rings, oh, well, the media now, oh, we got to start turning on him now. Now we got to start turning on him. They love Joe Burrow right now. Joe Burrow is an amazing quarterback. He went to a horrendous team, the Bengals, who have been bad forever. Now, that's another team there that's turned it around, and everybody's like, look big on the Bengals. If Burrow doesn't win in the next few years, the media's going to have to change their narrative. It's insane. So, this is just the way it is. And I agree with you on that, Angus. It gets annoying after a while, and I don't mean that just because they say things about my team. They'd say it about a lot of teams and players that if they don't like you, they're going to let you know. If they like you, they'll turn their back on you in a minute if you don't live up to the narratives that they have. So here we are, 13-15 left in the second, 2-0. Like right now, even the sports media talks about like the Rangers are #1 overall. I get the Hockey News magazine. It's an amazing magazine, one of the last real great sports magazines that's still in circulation of any sport. And they even have him on the cover. They have great players. Jason Robertson from the Stars. Austin Matthews from the Maple Leafs. Man, Connor McDavid. But then they have Sebastian Aho from the Hurricanes, who is an amazing player. But don't you think Artemi Panarin should be on there when they said teams going for the cup? There's not one Ranger on the cover. The Carolina Hurricanes are in second place. They usually are playoff flops. They're a tough team. They got a great coach in Rod Brindamore. Aho is a great player. Panarin is one of the top 5 players in the entire game, and he's killing it this season. You would think they would have him. Am I being biased? In a way. But just as a regular hockey fan, you would think he belongs on there. And the Rangers are #1 in the league. They don't make covers. It's in New York. It's a New York thing. Nobody wants New York teams to win. And I get it because I don't like Dallas and it's hypocritical and I want the Dodgers to lose because they have all the players. Now, I'm a Yankee fan. That is very hypocritical. All right, Bolts tied it up 1-1. Cirelli. Cirelli's a great player. I like him, man. Bruin, speaking of Rodgers, thank goodness he wasn't please. Like I said, I don't care what Aaron Rodgers does on the outside or if he wants to be the Jeopardy host. Remember that? And all these other things that go on. He's a pissed off Aaron Rodgers. The guy can still play quarterback and watch out when he comes back. And by the way, we got Tyrod Taylor as a backup. Even if Rodgers gets hurt with the team and everybody else stays healthy, Tyrod Taylor can bring the Jets to the playoffs. They're making the playoffs this year. It's hard to judge Rodgers on the Jets when he only played 4 snaps last year. So even so, we got a decent backup. But hey, I'm cautiously optimistic. But if they're healthy like that, they're winning the division. Angus, on the other hand, and you know what's funny about that, Bruin? Just one last thing. Rodgers is the one telling the team, forget the distractions, forget the outside noise. We got to focus on the team, focus on being a real leader. And then he lets that VP thing linger forever. But again, I don't care what he does. Give me the playoffs. Give me a ring if you could do that. But let's just worry about the playoffs right now. Let's just take this slowly. I'm not saying they stay healthy. I don't see why they can't contend. But forget about that. I just want playoffs right now. I think it's kind of funny, though, when Dolphin fans make fun of it's 12 minutes left in the second period, still 2-0. Rangers still skating around. We usually kick it in around the last 5 minutes of the second period. Then we'll score this period, and we'll win the game, probably like 4-3, 5-4. Dolphin fans mock me for being it's been 13 years, man, since you guys made the playoffs. I'm like, right. But come on, shoot that. Shoot it. They shot it. They just missed. Oh, it's been 13 years. Yeah, it has. We made the AFC Championship game 2 years in a row. The Dolphins haven't won a playoff game, haven't won one since Dan Marino was their quarterback, like in '99. That's the last time they won a playoff game. So it's kind of like you can talk the smack about 13 years, but you guys haven't won since Dan Marino. Since Dan Marino. And I think the Dolphins are going to finish behind the Jets and the Bills, or Bills and Jets, however you want to put it. The Dolphins' year was last year. They lost a lot of players. And forget the Patriots. Forget them. They're buried. Goal taken away was hit before the goal. Yep, Daniel, sounds like over here. The Rangers, man, we scored and they took it away. It was like goalie interference, but Kreider was hit into the goalie. And he nicked his pad, like nicked it. Jari still moved right across. He still got beaten. He still would have been beaten. So we had ours taken away too. So it should be 2-1. So it's still 1-0 Red Wings then. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the Lightning have a decent lead. What did I say? They have a 5-point lead. That's a lot, but they still need to keep winning. Every win matters. And the Red Wings, obviously, it's a big game. The Red Wings are fighting for a spot. So yeah, I guess Daniel, for Lightning, I don't want to go for the Islanders. Because yeah, if Philly loses to the Islanders, everybody's right there, man. Philly loses to the Islanders and the Red Wings win. Now I don't know who leapfrogs who. It all comes down to win percentages. That's a tight race. Hey, Ultimate Gaming, what's going on, man? Welcome back in. Another dweller accounted for. What's happening, Ultimate? Good to see you in here, man. Angus, on the other hand, the LA Angels, long-winded name, overrepresents their area. Yeah, yep, 100%. But 100%. Amen. That's a good one, Angus. Good one. Yep, 100%. It represents their area, exactly. So, and I just bring up the point because it's just the Jets and the Giants get ripped for this, as if everybody else plays exactly where they say. It's marketing. Like, hello, it's marketing. New York is marketing way more than New Jersey is. And then they're next door neighbors. It's just way more. The only teams here, New Jersey Devils, and they do pretty well. But I mean, New Jersey Nets, nobody cared about them until KD and all these all these Net fans came out of nowhere. Oh, I've always been a Net fan. Now they're all gone. It was funny because when the Nets had, just a sidebar here, but when the Nets had KD, Kyrie, and James Harden, oh, all the stars were at the game. They're all sitting on the side. They're all, sitting down. Barclays Center had the celebrity row going on for the Nets. Like, look at these phonies. None of these people were Net fans. No one. I grew up in New York. I didn't know many. I hardly knew any Nets fans. None. And when they went to the finals with Jason Kidd and Kerry Kittles and Richard Jefferson and Kenyon Martin, Kmart, they had a really good team. They couldn't beat the Lakers. They had a really good team. But it wasn't like the Knicks going and losing. If they won, great. If they didn't, all right, well, nobody cared. And they were the New Jersey Nets then. Like, I didn't know any, grew up in diehard Net fan. Everybody else, every other team, Jets, Mets, Rangers, Islanders, Knicks. Even the Devils. I knew Devils fans. I never knew Net fans growing up. So it was a weird time there. All the AFL Victorian teams have home grounds and are at the MCG or Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. Yeah, you guys told me that last year, and I actually saw that. And I know, MCG and Marvel. Yeah, that's right. I was trying to think of, the Lions of the Gabba. And they always win there. Why are the Lions 0-3? Oh, boy. We'll get into that. Angle, yep. Everybody say what's up to Rocco. Yep. He's hanging in there. He's hanging in. I'm going to take, what do we got? Daniel, shorthanded goal, Cirelli. They're checking the goal. No goal. They waved it off. So that's Cirelli, another shorthanded goal. This one count. Oh, he got one right back. Good. Bruin, it would have been over for the Jets if RFK Jr. did actually pick Rodgers. And why would Rodgers do that? When you really think about it, why would you? And guys, I've always told you this. I don't do politics on here. Never will. Just for this one thing here. Why would you go to a guy, an independent? They never win anyway. Why would you give up the chance? Rodgers is trying to be like Mark Messier. Mark Messier had 4 rings with Wayne Gretzky, right? Then he won a 5th ring with the Oilers without Wayne Gretzky. But everybody said, well, Messier, because you always looked at it as like, Pippen is to Michael Jordan. It's kind of like that. Messier, a great player. Messier, Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. 1,000% great player. But people, he still kind of had a lot of those guys on that Oiler team. So, went to the Rangers. Didn't win his first year. Got ridiculed. He's too old. Usual New York media stuff. Rangers bringing in Mark Messier. He's old. He's coming in with 5 rings, and maybe good veteran presence, blah, blah, blah. Messier got the Rangers a ring after 54 seasons. 54 years. They got a ring back. They were down 3-2 in that Eastern Conference Finals in 1994. Down 3-2 to a young Martin Brodeur, a young Devils team. He said, we're not only winning tonight, we're winning the whole thing. We're winning the whole thing. And they did. They came back and won in Game 7. Stephane Matteau scored the game goal, the game series winning goal in Game 7. Mark Messier has keys to the city. Did he need them? No. 5-time champion. 5-time champion. Comes to New York and brings a ring back to a team that hadn't won. Islander fans chanted, what, Rick the Ninja? Rick the Ninja's a New York Islander fan. 1940. That's all you would hear when the Rangers played the Islanders. 1940. Because the Islanders had won 4 cups in a row in the early 80s. 4 in a row. And that was their pocket of time. They won 4 in a row. It was a great pocket of time. Don't get me wrong. But so for Rodgers, if he was to pull a feat like that, he would have keys to the city. You bring a ring to the Jets? Like if LeBron come to the Knicks, he don't need to do that. I mean, he doesn't need to put his status up even higher, but if he had done that, he'd be even bigger than he is now. It's insane. But if Rodgers wants to be like a Mark Messier is keys to the city, big time, Hall of Fame, greatness. And he's known as a Ranger, and he was a Ranger for a few years. But bringing it back, it's hard to argue. And that's what Rodgers wants to be. And people say, well, he's just doing it for himself or he's a D. I don't care about why he's doing it. Just do it. Bruin, it would have been over for the. Oh, yeah, I know. I just read that. It is funny, though. So now it is officially 1-1, Daniel. Okay, 1-1. How much time is left? I should have that 8-10 left here in the second. We're still down 2-0. Hold on. We got in their zone for like 1 second and Pittsburgh cleared it out. Man, you'd think Pittsburgh was fighting for a while. I mean, technically they are, but come on. Our defense has been horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. There, Rocco. Come on, let's go. You all right, Rocco? What's the matter? Come on. Ah. He fell down. Poor guy. I mean, we've had him since he was a puppy, but he has problems. He'll fall down, and he has a problem getting up, and that's what he was doing. He was having a hard time getting up. Where was I at? Igor's making some great saves. But again, why is the defense? You stop. You sound like a broken record. When's the next video coming up? Soon, Ultimate. Soon. I got to get back on the foot. I mean, I've been watching the footy. I got to get back up on it. Getting the videos up. I've been real busy. I got a whole lot going on. This is only my second video period, live or uploaded in a month. I did a game 2 days ago. So we're getting back in it. Daniel, 20th goal for Cirelli. Yeah, man. I know I think we're missing Killorn and Braden Point, right? Killorn, man. Where did Killorn go? Did he go to the Ducks? They broke some of the team up, man. But Vasilevsky with him in net. Vasilevsky he had like a 5-year stretch where he was the winningest goalie in the game. I think that ended up maybe last year. But then he got hurt. The beginning of this season, the only reason the Lightning are fighting for that wild card spot, I know they're number one right now. You lost Vasilevsky for what, like the first 2 months of the season? It's a huge loss, man. You lose one of the greatest goalies, Hall of Fame, first ballot goalie, it's going to affect your team. I don't care who you have on your team. If your goaltending is not good, you're not going to win many games. If your goalie sucks, I don't care if you have Gretzky, Lemieux, Messier, Yager, Crosby, Ovechkin. You can have all those guys. Your goalie sucks. You ain't winning many games. You got to have a great goalie. Second period, 7:21 left. Thank you. Bruin couldn't have said it better, Johnny. It's true, Bruin. It's true. And that's exactly what he's going for. And no Jet fan cares. People are like, oh, don't you see what he does in the offseason? Want to distract? No Jet fan cares about that. We care about getting a freaking ring. You care about getting a ring, and I'm serious. And you watch football, Bruin. If he gets hurt again, Tyrod Taylor is a great backup quarterback, man. He just, we're going to be all right. Mike Williams, let's say the Cowboys picked up Mike Williams or Cincinnati. I don't ever mention Kansas City in these things because that team wins no matter what. I'm just talking about some other teams. If they picked him up, they wouldn't be talking about, oh, well, he could get injured again, and then the Jets are really hoping on a prayer here. Anybody else picked him up, one of those kind of teams, the Rams, the Niners, you'd hear never-ending stuff. The Eagles, never-ending stuff about what a great move it was, and, man, they're going to light it up. No, the Jets get him, and we hear about, oh, well, he's just coming off an injury. And even though he's the leading receiver in yards per catch, which is over 15 in the last 5 years, you don't hear about any of that. You just hear about he's coming off an injury and the Jets. That's all you hear. Another save by Igor. Hey, Igor, please don't give up any more goals. We're not trying to score any, but please don't give up any more. All right, Rocco, come on, buddy. Good. 7:21. Couldn't have said it better. Second IPL season has started. Make a video on that or do a watch along live if possible. Right now, gaming, I got too much else going on, man. I might do a video and upload on that. But with the Knicks playoffs, Rangers playoffs, footy season started, baseball's back. It's hard to squeeze that in. I can only do so much. But like I told you before, I want to stick to what I'm true to. And with the playoffs coming up, the Rangers and the Knicks overrule over everybody, including the Yankees, which is my favorite baseball team. I will watch these guys over them right now, too. I don't even touch the Yankees. If the Rangers and Knicks are in the playoffs, I ain't even looking at the Yankees if they're on at the same time. But I will be looking into some things with that. But like I said, I don't lie to anybody in here, Ultimate. I do like cricket. I found it to be much more entertaining than I thought it was going to be. But right now I got a whole lot of other things going on. But I get to it when I can get to it. But this is what's ruling the channel right now. Igor took a shot at Crosby. I do appreciate the support, though, Ultimate, but I'll never lie to you guys. And these guys have been with me a long time. I tell you guys what's up. I don't make up any stories, man. But I do find it is a better game than I thought it was going to be. Igor just took a shot at Crosby. I mean, really took a shot at him. Igor doesn't like when people come in that zone. When people come in his area, right, wrong, or indifferent, he's going to take a shot at you. That's like Martin Brodeur stuff, man. Brodeur would do that, except Igor's not slashing the back of your legs like Brodeur would do. He would slash your legs, which is totally illegal now. It was kind of legal then. Bruin, yeah, Bruin, man. Yep. Bagger, you know how Rocco feels. Yeah, man. And the vet said he's healthy. He's healthy otherwise. He's eating fine, drinking his water fine. When I walk him, he has to have a harness. He walks with a harness on his back, so he kind of, it supports him when he walks, so he kind of feels like he can walk, but his legs are like this when he walks. His front legs are like that, and his back legs kind of do this kind of thing. But like now he was getting off his bed when I got up a couple times, and he'll try to get up, and then he'll like roll off, and he rolled off, and he couldn't get himself back up. but he's healthy otherwise. So we're just focusing on the positive with him. He's 13, man. He's been here with us a long time. His brother Max lasted to 15. Max is 2 years now. Middle of March, he was 2 years since he passed. He rode on the truck with me more than Rocco did. Rocco wasn't a very good trucking dog. He moved around, barked at everything, and I used to get up at like 1 a.m. most of the time. Rocco just didn't. He came out with me on one 3-month trip, and we decided then that he was not a very good trucking dog. Max, you put him on the passenger seat, he's chilling the whole ride. And then when he went in the back to his little bed, doing great. Rocco, he moved around too much, barked at her like he does here. Barks at everything. He wasn't very good on the rig. But so Max made it to 15. That was the point. And they both grew up together. So it was that's the downside. They don't live very long. But we've had German Shepherds growing up, and none of them made it past 8 or 9 years old. So the smaller dogs we found last a lot longer. I don't know why that is, but it's true. They last 13 to 15. Min Pins are like 13 to 15 years old. And he's 13 now, but he's still hanging in there. He's headstrong. He's very stubborn. He's very good headstrong. So we'll see. Rangers bringing it back up. 3:30 left in the second period. And what happened here? Hold on, guys. Bagger, I read that. Bruin read that. Daniel, Vazzy had back surgery. That's what it was. Yeah, that's a huge loss. And look at how much the Lightning have bounced back since that. Daniel. Listen, Lou, my co-host who comes on here, everybody knows Lou. He said the Lightning are a team that he'd be worried about playing. And you should be. Every team should be playing. I know they lost to the Leafs in the first round last year. And I had me and Trouba Train, Trouba Train, OG Trouba. We had the Lightning beating them in 6. I didn't see them losing that one. They did. But they might be. What I don't want them to be, Daniel, I think I mentioned this already. What I don't want them to be, here they are hanging around on net again. What we don't want the Lightning to turn into is hanging on to some players too long, which is what happened to the Penguins. Now the Penguins have big names. The Yankees done it too. The Yankees hung on to players, big names, but they don't really have it anymore when they had like Jorge Posada a little too long and some other players. But the names sell. But if Tampa keeps losing or they don't advance past second rounds in the next couple of years, you got to make some changes. So, where are we at? But we're not even near that yet, Daniel. I think the Lightning are going to do very well in the playoffs. I go for them because I like I said, I lived in Tampa for, almost 13 years. So during my trucking rounds, we've lived in a couple places across the country. But I've been to a ton of Lightning games, and they grew on me. So I started rooting for them. But when they play the Rangers, I don't feel anything for the Lightning. I go for my team. I'm always loyal to my team. But without playing the Rangers, yeah, I go for the Lightning. I got a Stamkos and a Vasilevsky jersey. And I got them both in Tampa. Where are we at? Bond, JB, let's test how your footy knowledge is going. How many Victorian teams are in the AFL? Don't do that then, Bond. I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to take an educated guess, Bond. Six. Oh, we got to fight. That's what we've been waiting for. We got to fight. Let's go. There's nothing better than the opposing player being like the glass is here and the opposing player's face is like close to here and the fans are just banging the glass out of it. They keep banging the boards. It's all fun and games, man. But, players know the deal. They're all fighting for the puck. But It started because Raquel came in and banged Wenberg. You can't, the one thing in hockey you can't do it, but guys, I'm like here to the boards and I'm going after the puck. You can't come in behind the guy with your forearm to his upper back and put his face. You can break the guy's neck. That's what started all that. Now there's a big fight in there. Trouba came over. Lucky Rempe's not in. Matter of fact, Rempe hasn't played this game. I don't know where he's at. Bond, don't. Oh yeah, is it? I'm going to go with 6. Oh, that must be wrong, Bagger. You're laughing after that. Maybe I was wrong on that. Did you have a Tassie membership? Oh yeah, the Tas. When do they come out? Tasmanian Devils. When do they come out? That is, they have their name has to be the Devils. When do they come out? Is it next season or 2 seasons from now? 2 minutes left in the second period. Penalty on Pittsburgh. 2:01 left in the second period, and we're getting a 2-minute power play. Yes, Rocco, we're getting the power play. And for those that don't know, because you Aussies have always been super helpful to me with footy. A power play again means the team getting the power play has a 1-man advantage for 2 minutes. A major penalty, you could get a 5-minute. You can get a 5-minute power play, but that has to be like someone did something egregious, like maybe take the butt of their stick and knock it in the mouth or hit a tooth out, or something way out of bounds would give a 5-minute major. They're not as common, but they do happen. So most of your penalties are 2 minutes, which is what we have right now. How about scoring? Shoot it! Come on, we need a goal here before the end of the period. Let's get one back. 2-0 is not insurmountable, but I mean, goodness, man. Rangers are like zombies. They're like the Walking Dead out there this game. They're just skating around. I know you can't win every game, but goodness gracious, come on. We're fighting for number 1 in the league. It's an important game. Minute 30 to go. And Igor, man, he's been making save after save after save under pressure. Like, Lou jumping in the chat. You never know where Lou's going to pop up. You never know where he's going to pop up. He's going to pop up here, pop up in the chat. $43 seconds left in the second period. Come on. I'll get back to you guys in a second. I know, Rocco. I'm going to take him out in between periods. Come on, come on. Come on, Vinny. Shoot the puck. Stop pass. They pass too much. Shoot the puck. Play the rebounds. Let's go. They pass too much. Oh, how do you save that? Got to give credit where credit's due. That was an amazing save by Jari, the Penguins goalie. Oh, it's not even Jari. Jari's not even playing. What happened? Nedeljkovic made an amazing save there. I got to give him credit. He just glove save, had it in the right part of the corner. That would have been a goal. 11 seconds left in the period, and basically on our power play. I know, Rocco. We're going out. We're going out. Yeah, Lou. You never know when Lou's going to show up. Lou, co-host Lou Talks in the chat. What's going on, Lou? And congratulations to Lou. He took over, you guys that were here. He took over for over a half an hour here on his own. He did awesome. You guys know Lou's, Lou's got it going on. The Rangers have 24 comeback wins when they're down going into the third period. 24. I told you guys, sometimes they don't feel like playing till the till the third period or the end of the second. Then they decide to start playing. So this game is far from over. We'll be all right here. No stadium, no team. Yeah, that's true. They come out in 4 years. Okay. Well, was 6 teams right or wrong? Was I right or wrong, Bon? 10 Victorian teams. There's 10. Very good, Bon. I was just testing you. I just wanted to make sure you knew because I said 6 and I said, let me see if Bon really knows. So good, man. I'm glad you knew that. So true. Lou the Lip in the basement. Bon. Yep. G'day, Lou. How are you? I need a Rangers win. NPR Cookie, welcome into the basement, man. Subscribe, bell notice, like button. And guys, hit that like button. I'm a Leafs win, but geez, let's go Rangers, man. I know. Make it $1,000 if they win. Let me tell you something, NPR. The Rangers play in the third period. They don't like playing in the first period. They don't like playing in the second period. They like to play in the third. They're very much in this game. Igor is standing on his head. And the Leafs, man, Austin Matthews, man, going for 70 goals. And I know as a Leafs fan, I'm a New York Jets football fan. So you're kind of in the same boat as me. We just want to see a freaking ring. It's been forever. So I get where you're coming from. And when the Leafs are around, I get it, man. I get it. Let's go Rangers, man. I know. Come on. You got $1,000 if they win. Right? And the Rangers been winning. We've been winning. But just, again, game ain't over. 2 goals is not insurmountable, man. I feel your pain. I feel your pain as a Toronto Leafs fan, as a New York Jet fan, man. We always find ways to lose. People get hurt, fall apart in crunch time, or just disappear completely, during points of important games, just disappear. Just, playing a great game, and then all of a sudden just don't feel like playing anymore. So I feel your pain, brother. I do. Daniel, Bolts 2, Red Wing. Oh, end of 2, Bolts 1. Man, they're still 1-1. That's a big game. Both are fighting. Like I said, the Bolts have a 5-point lead as a wild card leader, and then you have the Flyers are right there, the Red Wings are right there, and then the Islanders are playing the Flyers right now. And the Rangers only have one team. April 11th, the Flyers. That's the only team that we have left in our 8 games, including today. I think including today. Well, hell with it. We'll just say including today. We're in the basement. You don't get any lower than that. I might be wrong. Only one playoff team left to play, which is the Flyers, technically, right now. If the season were to end right now, the Flyers would be in. So we only have one game against the playoff team remaining. Everybody else is basically out of it or mathematically still in it. So we're 14-1-1 against them. But we're going for number 1 overall, so all these games matter. You know what the Rangers do? We won 10 straight games, 10 straight, tied the franchise record. We had a chance to get the 11th straight win and set the franchise record. And who we had to play? The Columbus Blue Jackets, who are the doormat, one of the doormats of the league. And what do? Lose 5-2. I think we lost that one 5-2. We didn't even show up. Like, that's what we do. Could have been the franchise record with 11 straight wins, and we drop a dud. There are 10 Victorians in the league. Okay. Bag only one good one, though, Bon. Go Blues. Yeah, he's on the Blues. The only thing I can say to Dave is when it really mattered, my Lions beat you guys. Rangers need to do better. IDK, yeah. They do need to do better. But again, 24 comeback wins in the third period. That's most in the league. The Rangers just like to be figure skating for the first 2 periods in a lot of these games, and then they come back. The other night, for instance, we beat Philadelphia 7-6 in overtime. You all right, Rocco? We beat Philadelphia 7-6 in overtime at the start of that third period. That's just a couple games ago. The start of that third period, the Philly was beating us 2-1. There was 5. Both teams scored 5 goals. It was 6-6 at the end of that for a third period. It was a crazy third period. It's like goal for goal. You score, we score. You score, we score. Crazy third period. You never know what can happen. The A's at 61 Matthews right now. It's insane, man. Insane. I hope he gets 70, man. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. I would love to see that. Up 3-1 and lose. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, the Rangers yesterday were up on the, or 2 days ago, it's up on the Coyotes. 3-1, then 6-3, and we had to struggle and win 7-5. Like, what is the problem? What is the problem? Just subscribe. Thanks, Cookie. I'm usually on. I do the Knicks, the Rangers, but when you come to the basement, we don't have the biggest crowd in here. We have a knowledgeable crowd. It's just like hanging out. It's just one big hangout in here. We talk about everything. We talk about all sports. We don't bring politics. We don't bring religion. It's just sports, man. We can talk about all sports. We have Australia in here. We have Canada in here. We have New Yorkers in here. We have Buffalo fans in here. We have all types of fans in here, man. And then I have my man Lou Talks, who you'll probably see in the chat. He's jumps on here as a co-host at times, and other times he's in there, and then other times you don't see him. But it's a good friend of mine of 16 years. So this is just a sports hangout, man. It's what we do. But I like doing my games, and I'm a huge Knicks fan. Knicks, Rangers, Jets, Yankees. Those are my teams. So I appreciate the subscription, NPR. We'll keep it moving, man. Bond, the Tazzy, and Daniel. You'll see Daniel here. He's a diehard Lightning fan. We have diehard Bills fans. We have all types of fans in here, man. It's just a hangout, man. That's what it is. Bond, the Tazzy Devils will enter the AFL in 2028. Yeah, Lou Talks, man. Lou just said it, man. He knew that. I didn't even know that. And we'll get 2, maybe 3 players from each team to make them competitive, so they might get Lockie Neal. I hope not. Cameron and Dan. What? Come on. They ain't getting all them. They got it. Come on, man. Whatever. Getting low. They ain't get Lockie Neal, the Brownlow medalist, Charlie Cameron, and Joe Danny. Yeah, just take the whole team. Eric Hipwood, too. They're going to take him also. Oh, my gosh. I'm not that new to it, Bond. I'm not that new. Give me some credit, man. I'm not that new. Come on. Have it, man. Charlie Cameron right there, man. Dude, I even got the well, you don't know, the tinted window Christine car. It was worth something until the door broke off here, but the tinted window Christine car. I like all these little stuff. Everybody has them, right? Bobbleheads, Mike Richter. Last time we won a cup 30 years ago this year. Yankees are nice. Oh, man. What a start. What a start. 4-0. People are like, oh, who cares? Send your ticket there. It is a big deal. Houston has, been a problem for us a few years. So it's nice to come out and go 4-0. The Yankees are doing good. Really good. End of the second period, the Islanders are beating the Flyers right now 3-2. Flyers turned around with Tortorella as their coach. A lot of Ranger fans love Tortorella, hate Tortorella. I don't hate Tortorella. We have our man OG Trouba Train. You bring up Tortorella, he comes in flying, hates him. And I don't blame him. John Tortorella wanted to get rid of Chris. He hated Chris Kreider. Hated him when, a young Chris Kreider. He hated him. Sent him up, sent him down, sent him up, sent him down, wanted to get rid of him. Chris Kreider's a Hall of Famer. He just got his 300th goal the other day. He's one of the greatest New York Rangers of all time. But Tortorella wanted to get rid of him. So Trouba's not in here now, but if he was in here, he would be going off. Just bringing Tortorella's name up sets all types of things off. And we love him, OG Trouba. Patrick Cripps. Oh, my gosh, Bond, you're going on. Just take the whole team. Take the whole team. You can take the whole team then. They're going to come back. The Lions are coming back. The only way they don't come back is if they don't. Bond bagger, yep. Need the Zolo boys, welcome in, subscribe, bell notice, hit that like button, man. You need the Rangers victory. Yeah, man, they're 1 point up. 1 point. We got 104. Dallas has 103. And then Bruins, somebody else tied with 100. Florida Panthers have 99. Everybody's right there. These games matter. And we swept Boston. Go figure. We're talking about why some teams win and don't. We have a losing season record against the Columbus Blue Jackets. We have a losing record against them for the season. But yet we swept Boston. You can't make this crap up, man. That's why some Ranger fans that are like, oh man, we're playing, only one playoff team, Philly. The rest of them aren't that good. That scares me. We don't do well against, even though we're 14-1-1 remaining with the teams we have left, still. We have a losing record against Columbus and we swept Boston. So go figure. Go figure. Bruin, I'm back. Had some BDTs, the basement technical difficulties. I hear you, Bruin. You've been getting that a little bit lately. Lou, I only have that because guys told me on Saturday. Oh, you only knew that. Oh, there you go. At least you admitted it. I didn't even know that. Yeah, the New Jersey Devils. I mean, like Tasmania, you have a team there. You have to be called the Devils. The New Jersey Devils are called that because if you look up the history, the legend of the Pine Barrens Jersey Devil who floats around in South Jersey in the Pine Barrens. They call them Jersey Devils. I'm not going to give you the whole story. Just look it up. Google it. New Jersey Devil. And not the team, the legend. Pine Barrens, whatever you want to, Pine Barrens. That's the forest that apparently it's in. And they actually, on The Sopranos, had an episode with the Pine Barrens and the Jersey Devil sort of in there. So it's kind of funny. Dave, good job pushing the buttons, Bond. He's testing. Like, I know my team. And right now, you can take the coach if they want. But we started slow last year, not 0-3, but I think we were like 2-2 and losing to some bad teams here and there. And where did we end up? Grand final. Right, Dave? Who did we beat to get to the grand final? Oh, yeah. The Blues. Bruin, sup, Lou, and NPR. Yep, sup, bro. Yep. NPR is, like I was telling NPR, Bruin, no matter what game he subscribed, I told him no matter what game that it says I'm doing, we just talk about everything in here. Everything. I do all those New York teams, but we talk, it's just an open, it's just a hangout. That's it. We talk about everything in here. Everything. There's fans of all types. Lou, what's up, Bruin? Yeah, Bruin, like Bruin, Lou. Lou will be in the chat and he'll be on the screen. You never know where Lou's showing up. Bond, bag of names. The Devils can pick from the Bombers VFL team. Now, that's what they do here. When we have expansion teams like the Vegas Golden Knights, who just won the Stanley Cup, they're the only team in professional sports over here, at least the ones that matter, to make the finals, the Stanley Cup finals in their very first season. Because they got some great players, one of which was Marc-Andre Fleury, who's one of the greatest goalies of all time. He's the last goalie, if you want to throw trivia at people, he is the last goalie to be picked number 1 overall in the draft. Marc-Andre Fleury. Just passed Patrick Roy for most wins all time. I think he has like 558-ish. No one's catching Martin Brodeur. He has 691 wins. No one's catching that. They don't even play goalies that many games. You can barely get a goalie to start 72 games anymore. Most teams have 3 goalies now. Most teams rotate 3 goalies now. The Rangers are one of a handful of teams that have the traditional 2 goalies, Igor and Jonathan Quick. You don't need anybody else. But a lot of teams rotate 3 goalies. Last season was the first season maybe ever in the history of the league where there was over 100 different goalies that started at least 1 game in the entire league last year. Over 100 different ones. Think about that. So goalies starting that many games, like Martin Brodeur, Patrick Roy days, even on Marc-Andre Fleury is probably the last of the goalies playing long time in the games. You ain't going to see that much anymore. So that 691 by Brodeur probably never be beaten. Where we at? Bond, bag of Dave, the Devils can take a pick from the bomb. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I was saying. The veterans and people like that, they take from teams. They'll take players from teams, but not players, versions of a Lockie Neal and a Charlie Cameron and Joe Danaher and Eric Hipwood and everybody that's good. No, the teams give up players that they don't mind giving up. How about that? Listen, guys, you guys are kicking me while I'm down. I'm already in the basement, the tipping. I'm already in the basement there. Give me a break. There you are, NPR. Your Maple Leafs have 93 points. So you guys are good. You're actually good. I'm telling you though, man, even Toronto teams can leapfrog each other. Because Tampa has 89, but you guys are safe. You guys, I mean, you'd have to have an absolute collapse. I mean, the Lightning are 4 points behind the Leafs. I mean, they could flip flop with the Lightning, but for the Lightning or the Leafs, I mean, goodness gracious, man, you guys have an 11-point lead. You're not losing that. The Leafs are making the playoffs. You have an 11-point lead over the Capitals, the Flyers, and a 13-point lead over the Red Wings, who are not even in it right now if the league was in today. The Red Wings, the Flyers, and the Capitals are all well, no, the Capitals and the Flyers both have 82 points, and the Red Wings have 80. So those are the ones that are really fighting it out. The Lightning, they're 5 points ahead. They need to win today. But the Maple Leafs, they're making it. You guys should be fine. I mean, you'd have to be an epic collapse to blow that. I don't think is that even possible? Oh, it's possible with 8 games left, but listen, like I said, you're a Leaf fan, I'm a Jets fan. We're always cautiously optimistic. That's the term you use. Cautiously optimistic. That's the best term you can use. Because what else can you say? Because anything that happened like that wouldn't even be a surprise, right? I mean, listen, if the New York Jets are winning a game 35-0 at halftime, and the start of the third quarter, the other team goes down and kicks a field goal and makes it 35-3, I think we're going to blow the game. I'm not even kidding. Yeah, Leafs got it, dude. Bond, JB, you really paying out on the blue? Yeah, because Dave walked in and was making fun of my Lions. He was asking me when the next time, if you weren't in here for that, the next time I think the Lions are even going to get a W. And I told him I remember one important W. The important W when it really mattered was the game that got us to the finals, where I believe that first quarter, the Blues were beating the living snot out of the Lions. And then I guess thought that should be good enough. Talking about blowing games. There you go. NPR. Yeah, it's true. You know it's true, dude. You know my wall over here is all Jets. And I grew up in the New York Giants household. So I expect cautiously optimistic is the best term. I always say we're going to get it done unless we don't. But yeah, that would be really I've never burned a jersey. Fans that do that, I don't ever understand why fans burn jerseys. You know the guys that do that on their channel? It's because they don't have any content. So I'm going to burn a jersey and hope it goes viral. But then even if it does go viral, you still kind of have to do things after that. You know? My channel's not huge. We come on here, we're the same guys on here, and we just BS about sports. That's what this channel is to me. We all BS about sports, but the guys that do that, it means they don't have any content. You have no content. If you have one viral video, but you don't have any content after that, I mean, you still kind of got to work on it after a while. Hey, do you remember that jersey I burned, a year ago? I don't understand. Fans that do that aren't fans. I've been pissed off at the Jets 100 times. I've never thrown a jersey out, never thrown one in the garbage. I don't believe in any of that stuff. That's ridiculous, man. You're not a real fan if you're doing that. Or switching teams. Or you switch teams. The minute I leave the Jets, they'll win the Super Bowl that year. No, you don't switch teams. I'm a Jets and a Knicks fan for starters. Both teams. I mean, the Rangers, it's been 30 years since we've won, but at least the Rangers have been up and down. The Knicks have been horrendous up until recently, have been horrendous for the last 2 decades. Horrendous. And when you have the New York Mets and the New York Jets in the same city as you, and you're worse than them, that is really hard to do. Really hard to do. Because the Mets at least made a World Series. They lost to the Royals. And the Jets at least made 2 AFC championship games in that time frame. The Knicks, I mean, we're talking 17 wins. I mean, they made the playoffs with Carmelo. Thankfully, the Carmelo years, we made some playoffs and won a playoff series. But I mean, goodness gracious, so there's no bandwagoner here. You don't mention you're a Jets and a Knicks fan and hear bandwagon. I've been a Yankee fan my whole life. When I became a Yankee fan, they weren't winning World Series in the 80s. And I was a kid then. The best players we had was Dave Winfield and Don Mattingly, 2 amazing players. But we always lost. When I became a Yankee fan, it was like 15 years before I saw them win anything. And then they really started winning. So when people are like, oh, what are you, a bandwagon fan? Oh, yeah, my other team's the Jets and the Knicks. Yeah, I'm a real bandwagoner kind of guy. Anyway, where are we at? Last year was such a surprise, and I'll admit to you, man, I'll admit to you that I didn't think the Leafs were going to beat the Lightning. And why not? The Lightning, you gotta respect the Lightning. And Vasilevsky's a monster goalie, so you gotta respect the fact that I didn't think the Lightning were going to lose in the first round. I was surprised when the Leafs beat them. Not that they didn't have the team to do it. That's a seriously experienced team that had just gone to 3 Stanley Cups in a row and won 2 of them. So there really weren't many teams I would have taken over the Lightning to begin with. So that was a great surprise. And then I really thought they were going to make a run after that. I mean, what a high that had to have been to beat the team that just went to 3 straight finals in a row, 3 straight Stanley Cups in a row, winning 2 out of 3. That was like an amazing series win. But I got a good analogy there for you. Oh, here we are, campsite around our net again. The Pittsburgh Penguins have had a full campsite in our end this whole game. The tents are up, the campfires are out, the families are there. They got the dogs, the burgers, the beers, the s'mores. They are camping out, they're fishing, everything. They're living in our zone. We go down to the zone for 1 second, and it goes right back to ours. And there it goes, and we just did it. It's insane. The full campsite, full camping grounds. Dave, shame it's last year's news. He's got nothing. I said it. That's all I got. You came at me. That's all I got. We'll see where we're at the end of the year. We'll see where we're at. We'll see where we're at. Now, Bagger, you are lucky. You see how I am with my sports, with the sports I've been with for a long time. I'm not well versed enough in the AFL to really start debating you yet, but trust me, it'll come. Because I'm very good with that stuff, but I won't enter into an arena that I'm too new in. I'm too new in AFL to start talking because there's some I'm gonna have to look up some stuff. I'm gonna be ready for you next time. At least we'll look up some things that I can bring to the table. But right now, we're 0-3. There's not much to bring to the table. Come on, Mika, shoot that. Where's the rest of the team? There we go. We went down, took 1 shot, going right back to their tents on our end. You would think Pittsburgh was on just a forever power play. That's what it looks like. You would think Marc-Andre Fleury's in net for them right now in his prime. I don't got that kind of money to burn multiple jerseys. Yeah, really, man. Come on. That's what I say. You know, it's when I get jerseys, I try to get players that are mean a lot to the team. So even if they leave, you still feel good about wearing their jersey. Like this, I have a Panarin jersey. Usually I like to get players that were legends of the team from the past. But you know, I got a Panarin and Chris Kreider. I mean, there's no shame in that. I got Igor. I got Igor's jersey because these guys are going to be legends of the team. Whether they win something or not, we'll see. But if you're a straight up rookie, I'm not really going to get your. Although I did with Sauce Gardner and Breece Hall when they came to the Jets, I got their jerseys immediately. Immediately, it's Sauce Gardner. I mean, come on, man. But normally it's the older players like the Jets. I'm going to do Curtis Martin and Joe Klecko, guys like that. Lawrence Taylor. I like the Giants, but the only Giant jersey I have is Lawrence Taylor. You can't go wrong with Lawrence Taylor, man. Greatest linebacker of all time. But those jerseys aren't like hockey. Hockey jerseys are expensive, man. Hockey jerseys are expensive. For guys that burn that, man, you must be. I mean, do you play for the team? Do you make money like that? It's taken me years to get some of these jerseys that I got. Or Charles Oakley. I mean, that's an Oakley jersey, man. That's, you know, those are freaking great Knicks that have played the game. Ewing. Red Wings still 1-1. Still 1-1, Daniel. Lions might win next week. They're playing. Oh, they're going to make North Melbourne pay for their 0-3 start. They're going to make them pay. They're going to make them pay for being 0-3. We got 14 minutes left in the third period. The Rangers still have not decided really to play yet. That goal that got taken away was kind of ticky-tacky. It's kind of ticky-tacky. Kreider got checked into that goalie area, and his back of his skate nicked the goalie pad. Nicked it. He was going over to make the save. It didn't even hold him up. But goalie interference. He got checked into him. But the goalie still moved. He still moved. And he moved cleanly across post to post. So I don't see how it interfered with it. But am I being biased? Probably. Had it happened to us, I'd have been screaming goalie interference. I mean, that's just the way fans are. That's the way we are. Bond, if the Lions don't beat the Kangaroos, they deserve the. Oh, I'll agree with you there. They don't beat the Roos, they deserve it. They don't beat the Roos, they deserve it. 100%. Bond, Bag of Dave, Tony Hawkins should get an 8-week suspension for the phone eye contact. I must have missed that. Lou in the house. Lunicorn shows up for the last 13 minutes of the third period, but he was in the chat. So for those that don't know, this is Lou Talks, or the Lunicorn. He was just we have one new subscriber in here, MPR, who is a Toronto Maple Leafs fan. And I told him I feel his pain as a Jet fan, because when we have great teams, we still find ways to lose.
Well, thank you for the subscription.
Yep, thank you for the subscription, NPR. So the Rangers here haven't decided to show up yet. 24 comeback.
Have you noticed the last couple of games we give up a goal in the first 2 minutes?
Oh, yeah.
The last couple of games?
That's Arizona. Yep, with 2 different goalies. Hell yeah. Yep. Yep, we sure did. We sure did, man. This is the first 18 seconds of the game.
First 18 seconds, yeah.
You know what that is? And I was saying it in the beginning. That's the same defense that we carried over from the Arizona game. Just standing around. There's slalom poles out there, man.
And this is not a team to do that with.
Nope. Pittsburgh's not. They're mathematically still in it, but they're not Arizona. They're way better than them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guys on this team, that actually can play hockey. I mean, Crosby was his 36th goal of the year, and he is 36. He's a LeBron and a Brady and Ovechkin. You know, these guys get older. They're still playing at elite levels, man.
Yeah. They don't lose that. They don't lose that.
No, they don't lose that.
It's the IQ, is the hockey IQ, you know? You can't teach that.
And Pittsburgh's doing, it's like you can't blame them, but they're doing what the Yankees have done and the Mets in the past, and holding on to players a little too long, still expecting some magic.
Or like the Mets, we pick up good players on the way down, on the decline.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. What do we got here? Daniel, Red Wing. Oh, Red Wings scored 2-1. Oh, man, what a mess that wild card's going to be. The Flyers, the Red Wings, and the Capitals. They're all right there. The Capitals and the Flyers have 82 points, and Red Wings have 80. So if Red Wings beat the Lightning today, wow, what a mess. They're all going to have 82. So I guess it comes down to winning percent. That's what it is. You know what? We ain't got to worry about that. We're in.
Yeah, we're in.
8 games left. And the Mets
lost.
But
I mean, for the top spot, you're right. There's like 4 or 5 teams that are right up like 4 or 5 points, 6 points from each other.
There is. It's crazy, man. Yeah, because we only have a 1-point lead over the Stars. The only game left we have, and I think you heard me say it, it's technically against a playoff team, is the Flyers. The rest of them,
we'll lose to 5 out of those teams.
Especially since they keep talking about how we're 14-1-1 against the remaining teams, including the Penguins tonight. So, Bagger, I don't get too lippy, as we have been worse than rubbish for a while now, and Bond shouldn't get ahead of himself, and the Bombers haven't won for how long, Bond? There you go, Bagger. Switch it up. Come on, Rangers, we're still down. We're still in the game. Igor's had been standing on his head, Oh, here we go. Another breakaway. Odd man rush.
Yeah, they've been camping out all game. They've been camping.
All game. Camping out. All game.
And the thing, too, is that, yes, we have the most comeback wins, but you can't do that in the playoffs against good teams. You just
tripping. Hold on, man.
I'm like 30 seconds behind you, though.
What's that?
I'm like 30 seconds, 35 seconds behind you.
Well, you'll see it.
With the feet,
Just
yeah.
trip the hell out of him, man. And the ref's standing right there. I don't like the way this is going.
What about that second goal? You thought it was offside?
It's
It was close.
ticky tacky, but technically yes. But like Bruin or Rick the Ninja said, it's Crosby. They ain't taking that away with that close of a call. They're not taking that goal away. I was like, yep, that's the point. I mean, I try to look at it from both perspectives. I mean, if we were the ones, I've been like, that's so close. You can't take that away. You know, we're being fans. Now, the goalie interference, did you see that one when we scored?
Yeah. He got pushed. He got pushed backwards.
He got pushed into him, and the goalie still went post to post. But again,
that was tripping. That was
technically,
definitely
that's what I was talking about. Technically, you gave Crosby his, so technically you don't give us ours. Because technically he touched his pad, but it's not like he stopped the goalie from moving. He fully made a full move and he got beat. Louis DeLip needs an Essendon Bomber jersey. Bon is going to talk you up. He bigged me up to be an Essendon fan last year. I said Lou's still okay. He's still too new. I'm in. Oh, here we go. Breakaway. Score! We have no defense these last two games. Zero defense. Zero. Rick the Ninja. Rick the Ninja.
I'm about to go through this little brain fart defense now than in the playoffs, you know?
Yes. We were talking about this the other day. If they're going to go in a little bit of a slump, let it happen now. But I want number one in the league. We have plenty of time. But I mean, like, plays like this shouldn't happen. It shouldn't happen. We have our defense all the way up, high pressure defense, and all it takes is one misstep and you got a breakaway. Boom. That's all it takes. It's like an all-out blitz. You know? You miss one tackle, gone.
Yeah.
Gone. Bruin said hello again, Lou.
Yes.
And I know Lou jumped. The regulars know, the OGs, the regulars know. You never know where Lou's going to show up, if he's going to show up. You don't know where he's showing up. He's on the wall in the corner. He's in the chat. He shows up here, and then we don't see him. You never know. I had a feeling we're going to pop up.
But I'm always watching. I'm always watching.
And the Mets lost today, didn't they?
No, they're in the top of the ninth right now. Zip, zip.
Oh, still 0. I thought they were down 2-0.
No, Alvarez did an amazing collision at home plate to stop him. Really good collision.
Come on, Panarin, somebody shoot it. Oh, come on.
I'm happy to see Diaz on the mound again.
What, he got hurt again?
No, I'm saying I'm happy to see him on the mound again.
Oh, I thought you said I'm not going to see him on the mound again. Like, what?
Oh, no, forget it.
We're going to see a review here. Do you see the save? It looked like a good glove save by
No, like I said, I'm like 30, 35 seconds behind.
You're about to see it. Hold on. Oh, I think he was over the red line. I think he was over the red line. He saved it, but I think he reached into the net and pulled it back. Let's see. Daniel, Bolt score, Stamkos power play. Yes, sir, Daniel. Yes, sir.
I don't want to see those guys in the playoffs, Johnny.
Rick the Ninja, Lunicorn sighting. Rick the Ninja's been around. I'm looking at the overview. You didn't see it yet? You're more than 30 seconds behind me then.
Yeah, I'm probably.
Kucherov, another point. Oh, Kucherov.
Okay, I got it.
Superstar.
I just saw it right now from the corner.
Here's the review. Watch no goal. Watch. Good goal. Good goal. Yes. Still plenty of time. Still plenty of time. We got 20.
Oh, he was definitely behind that red.
Yep.
Definitely behind that red. He hit the pole with his glove.
It was a nice save, but I mean, he didn't save it. He's made a couple of good glove saves for them tonight. Like I said, this ain't Arizona. You know, this ain't Arizona, man. They got a lot of future Hall of Famers playing out there right now. Older, yes, but And they're
We did the same
mathematically
thing with
still
the
in it.
Avalanche. We did the same thing with the Avalanche.
Yep.
Um,
Bruins.
the Bruins, yeah, a couple of teams back to back to back, going down 2-0 in the first period. You
Yeah.
can't do that. You
The only
can't do
team
that
we
in the
go down
playoffs.
to and don't come back against is the doormats, like the Blue Jackets. We go down against them, it's just going to keep getting worse. It's amazing. Come on, get another one. Oh, man. Now, look, now the Rangers are playing more alive in the last minute than they were figure skating most of the game.
You can't do that in the
Oh,
playoffs.
Mika just missed that. Huh?
I said you can't do that in the playoffs, man. You can't fall behind. Think about it. In the playoffs, it's the top teams. Everybody should, makes it because they're supposed to be there. They play good. And to go down 0-2, you can only come back so many times without, it biting you in your behind.
Yep. It's true, man. It's really true. You got the chat up?
Yep.
You can always look at the chat, Lou.
Yeah,
As a matter of fact, Lou, hey, Lou, don't worry. I'm not leaving you for 40 minutes, just 2 minutes. Just 2 minutes. I'll put it this way. I've been doing the whole game without doing a break. 2 minutes, brother.
I saw that.
But Lou, there's a comment in there for you.
About what, to wear something sensible?
Yeah.
Oh, I wear the craziest stuff. I have no shame in my game. Oh, the Rangers, I tell you. But it's like every New York team. Same thing with the Knicks the other day. Still possession of third place, end up losing to almost like the last place Spurs. We had a good game yesterday versus Oklahoma City. They almost jumped out to like a 20-point lead. We came back, battled back, got the lead, ended up losing. Can't understand that. I mean, that's every New York team that we can talk about. Same thing with the Mets. Same thing with the Giants, the Jets. They're supposed to be the team, and they put up a goose egg all the damn time. But it was a good game for the Knicks yesterday, even if they lost. They lost by 1. I mean, we still had the last shot of the game. They ended up scoring with like 3 seconds left. The guy pulled up with a nice jumper, drained it. But you just can't go out there and lose. I mean, start in this big deficit and then, always having to battle back. Even if the Rangers, I think, have the most comeback wins, going down 2-0, going into the third period, but I can't do that all the time. Let's see what's going on here. I could have took the West Coast Eagles for his team. Like I said, reason why I picked the Crows is because no one had the Pros. I like the colors. And yeah. So like John said, I'm still new, still learning the game, still learning the teams, Not saying that I'm not loyal to my teams, but I just picked the Crows because of the colors. But I do like the nickname Lou the Lip. That is awesome.
That's funny. 8:28 left, and they are right. Now we're in their zone. This is our time. We could still come back.
We still could. We still could. We have the team to do it. But once again, Johnny, we just can't do this in the playoffs, man. We can't do this in the playoffs. We're going against, the top 5, top 6 defensive teams in the league. You can't do this all the time.
No,
you can't go to that well too many times. Yeah.
Even if we didn't give up any goals in the first period in a lot of these games, they just don't show up in the first period. Just don't. They don't play. I don't get it.
Like the Knicks yesterday.
Huh?
The Knicks playing, I think, the second or number 1 team in the West. Go down almost by 20 points, battle back, get the lead, and then end up losing.
Oh, 1.8 seconds.
I thought Bronson was going to hit that last second shot.
I know. I mean, dude, 1.8, the Thunder, who hit that? Garius?
I forgot, but I know he came from the left-hand side and he just drained a nice jumper with the hand in his face, too.
1.8. They played hard last night, man. You think about it again. We have one guy. I mean, I know Robinson just came back, but we seriously have one player One player, Brunson. The rest of the team was not starters.
Yeah.
You know, nobody does injuries like New York team does.
No.
Everybody gets injuries, but we get our whole lineup out. How many? And there, when Brunson was hurt for a few games, how many teams had their whole starting lineup out?
Yeah. Yeah. No, nobody. Not the way we did. But everybody stepped up. The DiVincenzo, Precious, even Hartstein stepped up and did his thing.
Oh yeah, could have been worse for Lou. He could have taken West. Oh yeah, I wouldn't have
Yeah,
let him take West Coast. I wouldn't have let him take West Coast. I would have told him taking West Coast Eagles would be like picking the Coyotes as your hockey team. Like you don't, yeah, you don't do that. Or picking the Pistons as your hockey as your yeah. I wouldn't have let him do that. At least the Crows. I mean, they almost made the finals last year. The Crows and the Bulldogs, those are okay. Like, it's early. It's early. They're 0-3. It's kind of like, it's not like NFL 0-3.
They had a good first game, but the last two games they've gotten slapped.
Oh, they did get slapped. They did.
I don't even think they scored 40 points the last game.
Listen, when there's bad teams in here, there's bad teams. I mean, there's blowout central in here, man. Like, blowouts are real. Like, I'll put you this way. Like North Melbourne Kangaroos, don't ever tip them. And they lost 137-81. You know, like, it was a worse one, I thought. Was there a worse one? Maybe it was last round. Oh, yeah. West Coast Eagles lost last week, 108-43. I mean, like, Pittsburgh's on a power play right now, and 5:45 left in the third period.
And no, right now I'm at 6:02, so I'm not that far. I think it's just between the commercials and all that. Come on, Mets, get me a win, please. Give me a sign. Give me something to root for, please. I beg you. I beg you, Mets. I beg you.
It's true. Oh, what are they? It's still 0-0?
Yep. Bottom of the ninth, 1 out. Marte's up.
I know the Yankees played the Diamondbacks. I'm like, man, 9:40 start. I'm not going to be watching that.
The game I want to watch tonight is that LA versus San Francisco.
I know it's funny. I'm being so hypocritical when I say I just want the Dodgers to lose. I want to see him keep losing. And people are like, you're a Yankee fan. I'm like, I know it's hypocritical as hell, but I still want him to lose.
I want him to lose too.
And it is hypocritical. I don't defend it. I'm a Yankee fan. They're like, why? Because you thought you guys should get all those players? Yeah. That's how it's always been.
No, but see, the difference is, John, with that is that the Yankees won chips.
Shoot it. Huh?
That's the difference. They won championships. They won multiple championships. You have the Dodgers have been doing what the Yankees have been doing for the last 10 years and got one championship or two, right? The 2-1.
No, I get it. I get it. It's I just don't want the Yankees to turn into the Cowboys. You know.
No, I don't think that'll ever happen.
Like Aaron Judge can't be wasted on a team like being that generational talent and not get a ring. I mean, we do that all the time, like with Patrick Ewing and Henrik Lundqvist, and we find ways to have generational centers and goalies and players, and we find a way to make sure they don't win a ring. It's just insane. I mean, I know we had Jeter and the core four. I mean, but you know what I'm saying. You can't have a player like Judge come around and not win. Come on, we're right there. I'm not trying to be negative. I don't get the comeback vibe right now.
No, me neither.
I just don't. Bruin, I'm a Dodgers hater too. Yeah, I know, Bruin. And Bruin's a Yankee fan. We're all Dodger haters, man. We're such hypocrites.
Dude, I've been hating them since 1988. Come on.
You're a Mets fan. Hey, we scored. Woo! We scored 3-2 now.
I haven't seen it yet. So, like I said, I've been hating the Dodgers since 1988.
You have a reason, though. Oral Hershiser year.
The Bulldog. You put in a guy that pinch hit that has no knees, no cartilage on none of his knees.
Trying
Oh,
to
that, I'm that far back. They still haven't scored.
deflections, man. What do we always say? What do we always say? Shoot the
Yep,
puck on
just shoot,
net.
and hopefully something good will turn out.
Yeah, you just freaking, you got this much time. Like, they pass too much. I mean, our great announcers, like we're lucky in New York to have the announcers we have in all the sports, from Walt Frazier and Mike Breen. We got Sam Rosen, 40 years, 40th year calling the Rangers. And he used to call New York Giants games, way back when, but 40 years. And Joe Micheletti with us like 20. And they say it, the team passes too much. Play some rebounds, man.
Yeah, make something happen.
Yeah, because eventually you pass, and then someone flubs the pass, and then boom, shorthanded
Yeah,
goal.
that is, yeah, exactly.
But where was this earlier in the game? The last 5 minutes, we're down 3-0. Now it's 3-2.
I ain't even gonna lie. We've been getting dominated the whole game, if you ask me.
We have. This whole game has
Yeah.
been in our zone. These are the
And
kind
it's
of
not
games
even,
where you can't, outside of the one breakaway goal, Igor got smoked. But
yeah,
2 goals is like, dude, where is the defense, man? How are so many guys getting so many shots off in front of the net, and the defense is just standing there?
can't clear the
All
puck
of them,
or anything.
Chuba, Keandre, Lindgren, they're all just standing there. It makes no sense. Like, these are great defensemen, man. How are they getting so many shots off? And Igor, there's a couple rebounds, and then the puck's just hanging out there in no man's land.
It's like we're hungover from Arizona or something. I don't know.
Oh, that Arizona game, think about it. Jonathan Quick, 392nd win, set the record for American goalies. Gave up 5 goals in that game.
Yeah.
And not all of them were his fault. He just took shot after shot after shot.
Yeah, two of them it was his fault, but the other three, or excuse me, the other five,
And the
or
other
whatever.
3,
And then on top of that, we're up, was it like 6-3? And we were like, oh, this game still doesn't feel like it's in the books. And what happens? Bang, 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 bang. Next
Yep.
thing you know, we're tied up.
Of course. Louis the Lip was an AFL player and commentator, an absolute legend and a funny guy. Well, that's Lou. He's a funny guy and a legend in his own mind, so he's kind of the same thing. Bruin's a Dodger hater too. Yep, Bruin can't stand the Dodgers. Rick the Ninja doesn't hate the Dodgers. Rick is a Yankee fan as well, and I know it's funny because now I just want him. You know what's funny is the people that always for all those years said, "Oh, I hate the Yankees. They buy all their players." All Red Sox fans and other haters, rivals would say that. I'm like, it's funny because all the years, one of the other top 5 teams that spent money on players all the time was the Mets. Nobody cared. The Knicks spent money, tons of money on, but they were always in last, and no one cared. The Red Sox, their fans, they win, and everybody's like, "Oh, it's great for baseball," and they're not the evil empire. Yo, David Ortiz, he came out of their minor league system. Josh Beckett, did he? No. Manny Ramirez, where'd he come from?
No.
And they're like, "Oh, that's different." It's not different. You all didn't start winning until you went out and got players. Period. Pedro Martinez, he came out of your farm system. Where'd he come from?
Montreal.
And I got his thing up there.
But the worst trade or signing that Boston ever made was Carl Crawford. That was horrible.
But the thing with Boston fans like New York and Philly, man, they let them know, you come up here and suck, man, you're going to get booed out of the stadium. David Price wasn't great for them either. It wasn't that great for them.
No.
I know he had a good World Series game for them, but overall, he was getting booed a lot up there. Now, see, what do I always tell you? When we pull our goalie, we give it up right away. And that's what we just did. When the other team pulls their goalie, it takes us forever to get the puck and score. That's the game. That's the nail right there.
But at least Soto's doing good for you guys. He, came off quick.
Soto's
real quick.
Killing it on the field. Even Verdugo, him and Aaron Judge, their bats are a little slow right now, but man, in the field, Verdugo's been flashing the leather, man.
See, people forget that Soto is not only a power hitter. My man can hit for average, can hit for power, and he'll walk. He'll walk 4 times in one game like it's nothing. And he'll spit on anything that's dirt. And
he gets to pitch his heads with that move.
Oh, I love it. I
hated it at one time like you too, but it is a funny thing. It's a funny thing. I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but when Greinke was still one of the best pitchers in the game, Soto was on the Nationals. He did that to him a couple of times, and the next pitch went like that, and Soto went like this with his hat.
Yeah.
Like he breezed him
Oh,
like because
he's
he actually
he's
the first time he leaned in, and then the second time he leaned in and then shimmied at him and did all. But it gets in these guys' heads.
nah, man. But Soto, even if he's not hitting for power, he's getting on base. He's keeping that lineup moving.
Hits the opposite field well. Dude,
Oh,
that
he does
guy.
everything. He does everything. He does everything. I
That's
mean,
a
he had one
player.
bad season before he got traded to San Diego, but bounced back last year. I think he had like 270, 33 home runs. You know,
It's insane that San Diego and all those players didn't even make the playoffs.
well, they beat us.
Xander huh?
They beat us.
I know. Well, I'm just saying that Soto last year, Manny Machado, Tatis,
Tatis
Xander Bogaerts. I mean, you have a lineup, man. They're down by 2. They pulled this
and
off.
pitching and pitching, and the pitching was
And
great.
pitching, and they didn't even make the playoffs. Let's go, Rangers. Yeah, Bond. I don't know if they're going to do it, man. It'd be a miracle now. They're down by 2 goals with 50 seconds left. And hopefully, well,
Yeah.
Dallas doesn't play today, so we'll still be number 1 over. Oh, that's another goal. We're done now. We're done now. That's it. Empty netter. An empty netter, Bond, and you guys that might not know, because you guys always help me with the footy. You're allowed to have 6 players on the ice. There's 6 players on the ice. The goalie is the 6th player. He doesn't have to be on the ice. You could pull him and put an extra attacker on, so now you got an extra player out there. And when you're losing late in the game, being 1 goal down, 2 goals down, you need to try to get it back. So you're going to risk giving up a goal by putting an extra man on the ice. So when I said empty netter, we had no goalie in net.
Not us. We can't score on an empty netter. We've seen it multiple times the last couple of games, but look at these guys come in 2. Here.
Oh, we give it up right away. Oh, Kreider doing some cross-checking. Oh, the goalie went after Kreider. Wow. Something must have been said. Kreider doesn't usually do that stuff. And you'll see he cross-checked him in the back twice. I don't know what happened there. Kreider usually doesn't do stuff like that. Oh, yeah, Bruin, that's a wrap. That's a complete and total and utter rapido. That's it, man. Maybe the Knicks tomorrow night. Maybe the Knicks. The Knicks are playing the Heat tomorrow night.
That's a good game.
Off of that. Yeah, it's 7:30 start. Let me check right now because I'm about to bounce. I'm not staying on for the Yankees tonight, guys. You can forget it. That was pretty straight to the point. I'm not even staying up for the whole Yankee game. But hold on. What are we saying? Oh, New York Knicks.
You didn't even give them hope. You just said, I'm out.
Yeah, I did. Like last time I said, usually when I say I'm probably going to, like when I text you, hey, I'm probably going to do it, it means I'm going to do it. More times than not. The Knicks play the Heat tomorrow night at 7:30. That's a good game.
No, we need that. I think
We
it's the first time we
definitely
lost
need
2 in
that.
a row. First time we lost 2 in a row in a long time.
In a long time, yep. Yeah, that's a wrap. Bruin, that's. And I just texted my cousin like, yo, you should turn back to the Rangers rolling down 3-2. And like, boom, boom, boom. And we got to play Detroit Friday night. The Rangers got to play Detroit next, who is fighting desperately for a wild card spot. See, when they say we're not playing playoff teams, we're playing teams. Detroit's fighting hardcore to make the playoffs right now. So we're not playing some scrubs. Boy, they came to Madison Square Garden and beat our ass.
The Mets gave up the lead in the top of the 10th.
Rust got 4 of the Penguins' 5 goals. And I know some of them were on empty netters, man. But Red Wings 3, Bolts 2. Is that a final, Daniel? That sounds like a final. Oh, boy. So the Red Wings now. Oh, that's. Daniel, that's big.
They're going to come play us fired up.
Well, Lightning, that's 1:10 left in that game. And they play us. Let me make sure. I think that's the Rangers' next game. It's Friday night. Boy, the Rangers were flat this whole game.
We got dominated.
Oh, we got dominated. You would think the Penguins look like the old Penguins. I'll tell you right now.
Who was it that was it? You said the Blues, where we were supposed to win 11 in a row.
No, the Rangers had the 10-game, they tied the franchise record for 10 wins in a row, and we were going for our 11th win in the row, and all we had to do was beat,
Calgary was
at Columbus, and we got
Columbus.
not only did we not win, we got beaten down.
This is how we look.
Yeah, that's what we do. Like
beginning to end.
Knicks the other night, 61 points, and we lose to a horrendous team. Like, come on. It's unacceptable, man.
That's New York teams for you guys.
100%.
If you learn something here in the basement, is that every New York team will make it horrible until the ending of everything. I can't even just upset right now.
The Rangers play Wednesday night. They play Wednesday against the Devils, and then we have the Red Wings on Friday.
So another good team.
Yep. The only punk team we have coming up is the Canadians, and that's on Sunday. Or whatever the case, man. We'll look forward. Try to do the Knicks tomorrow night at 7:30, and
I'll try to be on earlier, Johnny.
Oh, whatever, man. Like I said, you're a unicorn. You show up when you show up. 4-2 Red Wings. Well, that's it. They must have scored an empty netter because I just checked on there. So that's a wrap. Red Wings. We're done here too. Rob, I've seen you've been asking. I do the AFL. I've been really busy, Rob. I've been really, really busy. I've seen you've commented, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Rob. If you look through, this is the second thing I've done in a month. So I've had a lot going on, but no, I still do AFL. Don't worry, Rob. And thank you for commenting in the comments because I've seen them. So thank you, Rob. But don't worry, I'm still doing AFL. I'm 100%.
And it's hard because they games are at 4:30 in the morning our time.
Yep. Rob, most of the guys in here, that's right. Most of the guys, that's why I do reviews of the stuff and previews. I did a lot last year, and I'm still going to do them. And Rob, you'll see a lot of other AFL guys are in here with you right now. I'm still going to be doing them. I've been very busy the last month. So don't worry, Rob. I will be doing it. And thank you for your support. Bruin, good night. Watch the Yankees. I'm going to watch a little bit. And that's it. Bron, listening to you guys and working on a song I'm making on a guitar. You make it out. The Rangers lost 5-2. When they didn't feel like playing tonight. Now they figure skate. We watched Rangers figure skating tonight.
It was horrible. It was horrible today.
It was one of the worst games I've seen him play in a long time. Oh, well, I can't win them all. And like you said, get these little things out of the way now. But the defense, the last two games, awful. And that goes back. Well, we did good against Colorado. But the game against the Flyers, that third period when it started 2-1 Philly, it was goal for goal after that. But
even with the Panthers, I think we scored the first one, or I think they scored the first two.
They scored the first two.
Oh, we scored the first two.
No,
okay.
Against the Panthers, they did. They did, not us. They did. They scored the first two. Just like the Bruins. They scored the first two, and then we came back and won.
Yeah.
They can't do this in the playoffs. You can't. You can't do this in the playoffs, man. And they've been doing it all year. Even if the first periods end 0-0, we don't come out the gate strong. Just don't.
Yeah.
It's like the puck drops, and then we're right in our end. It's like the puck drops, and we go right to our end. Right? That's the way
multiple games. We've given up the first point in the first 2 to 3 minutes. The last couple of games.
Yep, 100%, 100%, man. Anyway, man, I'm gonna get Rocco out. I'll text you tomorrow. And
all right, guys, have a good night, John.
The Knicks Heat tomorrow night, 7:30. I'm pretty sure we'll be on for that.
Let me know. I'll be on early.
All right. Yep. All right, guys.
Have a good night, guys.
Later in the week. Oh, whatever. We'll talk.
Let's go Rangers.
All right, guys. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. We'll see you all probably tomorrow for the New York Knicks versus the Miami Heat. It's a big game. The Knicks are 4th overall in the Eastern Conference. They only got about 8 games left, so they're fighting to stay in their area as well. They've been playing great all season. So tomorrow night, we'll probably switch it up and do the Knicks, and then the Rangers will be back on Wednesday and so on and so on. So we'll see how it goes. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate it all. For the Yankee fans, the Yankees are starting right now. I'll be watching part of the game, but not all of it. And I'm going to get something to eat. Have a great night, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.